he just explained to me the power of grace. In a generation where we're all lost and people feel like maybe they're not good enough to go to Christ or to come, and the people that are in the church are condemning and pushing them away. He expressed to me giving and getting grace, and how the grace of God is enough for all of us. So that alone just kind of changed my mindset, and I noticed that I kind of operated and feeling like I didn't have to fix it myself, but just to spend time with God, surrender what I do desire, and everything's fallen in place since.
Is it leading to you getting your balloon back,
Yes,
or are
ma'am.
you just
Yes, I'll get it back. Yeah.
okay? Let's get the balloon back. Oh, there we go. Okay, we'll be back then. Let's head on back this way. Okay, so we still do have quite a lot of ladies with their balloon left. Oh, okay. Let's go down over there. All right, your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
My name is Anita. I'm 37. I was trying to hear him out. I know you said you've been on the show before, and I don't know, that I felt like a red flag, but I don't think there's like an attraction between us.
Okay. Okay.
No, she's someone that's your type?
Yeah. She's my type. Definitely, I like her skin tone.
Oh,
I like dark skinned women. She's beautiful. You know what I mean? And I like the
didn't
fact that you got braids. Like
It's a mohawk.
you embracing your yeah.
Oh, I'm shocked, and I didn't think you were attracted.
Why are you shocked?
I don't know. I didn't think I was his type.
I should think that, but
Yeah, nah, you very beautiful. I like your skin tone again, and you got gorgeous almond eyes, and yeah.
Okay.
So are you still leaving your balloon unpop? Is he someone that is your type?
He's attractive. I just didn't think I was his type.
Why are you eliminating yourself? You want the balloon back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey guys, listen, we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this one. Listen, it's a bit blue behind me, but listen, we'll do it. We'll make it work. I want to be very honest with you. I watched this episode, and this part of this really stuck out to me, but I didn't do a video. And then I saw it circulating on the internet, people talking about this situation. Now, what I saw was very interesting. I saw a lot of women talking about how, they felt about the interaction, and they were like saying that obviously that this young lady wasn't insecure, and actually they were blaming colorism, right? And I want to first and foremost say, listen, I totally understand that colorism is a big role in the situation, right? And that how colorism has done a number on dark-skinned people, right? But I want to be very honest. Whether colorism has done an issue on people or not makes no difference. It's an insecurity. The way she took herself out of the game is an insecurity. And I find it absolutely fascinating that I'm seeing so many comments. I was on a post on Instagram, and I wish I could find it again, where they were talking about obviously the video, and they were saying obviously it's not an insecurity, it's colorism. It's the fact that obviously dark skinned women always believe that they're not wanted. Yeah, so it's an insecurity, right? Because you self-sabotaged yourself out of the situation. The brother didn't say anything. He didn't make any comments that were negative. He didn't make any kind of didn't make any kind of inference that he was even leaning towards anybody else. You heard the other woman take her balloon back and then quit, and then he decided to make another story on top of what you actually said by saying, "Oh, I didn't think there was any chemistry there." You found him attractive, and I want to say something that's going to be really it might be frustrating for a lot of people, but I think we have to talk about this, right? I also feel like this happens in dating in general, and then we blame, and I'm going to be honest with you, and then we blame light-skinned women as the issue. And sometimes I want to be very fair. First of all, you should know my preference. My preference is dark-skinned women. That's all I've ever dated. That's all I like to mess with. Okay, all right. But I want to be very, very fair. I think sometimes this is where light-skinned women get a bad rap, because it's like they haven't done, and again, they haven't done anything, right? I haven't done anything, but somehow it'll always come back to them. You know what I'm saying to you? When in reality, the situation is, in this scenario, it's a very clear indication what I believe happens a lot in dating realm, which is people who are of a darker hue take themselves out the game, whether it's them self-sabotaging, or even them pre-assuming what the other person feels, or the other factor is they lack the confidence. So actually, you become unattractive, right? You become unattractive because you're already having a predisposing idea that I'm not attractive to this person, and they haven't even said anything and haven't done anything. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Right. And I think that is a massive thing. I think this was a really good indication of this kind of stuff that happens in the dating realm, especially in the modern era too, right? And we should call it what it is. It's an insecurity, regardless if there is an understanding of where it comes from in terms of colorism, in terms of the fact that there is a history of this. It makes no difference. This young lady, unfortunately, took herself out the game. Took herself out the game because she felt like she wasn't going to be his type. You know what I'm saying to you? Let me just read some of the comments that I saw. Some of the comments say, it said, I was reading some of the comments. Let me see what some of the comments were on. Okay, I found it. Fantastic. Well, when my headphones came out here. Wait, where'd my headphone go? There's a good Lord taking my headphone out. Okay, I'll find out in a second. But there was a few other comments who were saying, this is not insecurity. This is, unfortunately, because of colorism. Unfortunately, this is unfortunately the situation as it is. People have gone through men telling them that they don't want this way. It's the way that society treats dark-skinned women. I can only imagine, blah, blah, blah. But the reality of the situation is insecurity. You know what I'm saying to you? But I'm going to play the rest of the video anyway. We're going to break it down a little bit more anyway, because you know what I'm saying to you? You know how I like to do. So let's break it all the way down. You know what I'm saying to you? We'll have a discussion about this issue. You know what I mean?
Let's get that balloon back. There we go. Okay, we'll be back. Let's head on this way. All right, Josh, I'm going to hand you a pic.
Back. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Let's go down over there. All right, your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
My name is Anita. I'm 37. I was trying to hear him out. I know you said you've been on the show before, and I don't know that I felt like a red flag, but I don't think there's like an attraction between us.
Now let's pause it right here. Like she says here that she felt like, you know what, there was she felt like obviously for him there's a red flag for him being on the show before previously, and then obviously she felt like there's no chemistry between the two of them, right? So she's now projected and now made him the issue. And I think this is really important because it's not just to do with colorism, it's not just to do with skin tone. We do this in a lot of things, right? Where people start projecting when they haven't heard anything from the other person yet. Right? Do you get what I'm saying to you? And so we need to be able to assess that particular situation for what it actually is. She makes an assumption. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, she's someone that's your type?
Yeah. She's my type. Definitely, I like her skin tone. I like dark skinned women. She's beautiful. You know what I mean? And I like the fact that you got braids. Like you embracing your.
Even when the man was, even when the man was even saying, "Listen, I like your braids," it's a mohawk. It's like, baby, listen, just take the compliment, B. You know what I'm saying to you? All right, okay, all right. Take the compliment because again, because remember, dating is also about attraction, right? So if you're already having this negative aspect, bro, I personally am not trying to see you like that. You know what I'm saying to you? Right? I'm not trying to see you like that. So I'm attracted to confidence too. I don't want someone who's not going to be confident about themselves. You know what I'm saying? To be confident about what they are and what they do. You know what I'm saying? To and who they and what they bring to the table. I want you to be confident in who you are. It's sexy. You know what I'm saying to you? So now we got a whole situation where you didn't even think that he would be your type. You haven't heard nothing. He hasn't said anything.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm shocked, and I didn't think you were attracted.
Why are you shocked?
I don't know. I didn't think I was his type.
So why don't you just say that? Right? Why don't you just say that I didn't think he was my type instead of flipping it onto him and making him the issue? Because it's not just the only issue that's going to happen here. It's going to happen in a relationship too. Because you're going to make issues that are about you, about him. And this is what I'm saying to you, like, it's not just a now situation, it's a later on situation. If the issue is that you can't take the accountability that you are the reason, you're having an issue and you're going to flip it onto the other person, it's probably going to happen in a relationship too. That you're not going to see things in a way that it's you are bringing this issue to the forefront, but actually it's not the other person, it's you.
She would think that, but
Yeah, nah, you're very beautiful. I like your skin tone again, and you know, you got gorgeous almond eyes, and you know, yeah.
Okay.
So are you still leaving your balloon unpop? Is he someone that is your type?
He's attractive. I just didn't think I was his.
Oh, so now he's attractive, sis. You just didn't think he was attracted to you. You know what I'm saying to you? This is important. Like, look, don't, whatever you say, listen, I get it. There is colorism that exists. We understand the reason why she might have thought the way she did. Don't flip it on somebody else. Don't flip it onto somebody else. Just hold it accountable and say, hey, it's me.
This type.
Why are you eliminating yourself? You want the balloon back?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get that balloon back. There we go. Okay, we'll be back. Let's head on this way. All right, Josh, I'm going to hand you a pick now.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Okay.
And I'm going to have you pop. How many of them are there? Let's do it 2 balloons. I know, I'm sorry.
Tough. Oh, you got beautiful.
They are beautiful, but you got to pop 2.
Wow. I might. Sorry.
All right. So your name and age, and why was your balloon unpopped?
Sophia, 36. Very attractive, and I want to hear more about him.
And I saw it was really tough for you, Josh, but why'd you end up popping hers?
Just to address, like before, I felt like it's a little bit too short.
Okay.
Other than that, yeah, you got, you know, nice smile.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Okay. We've got 5 ladies left. Go ahead and ask them a question.
All right.
Come back.
Sorry. What's something that you learned from your last relationship?
Okay. Name and age, and what's something you learned from your last relationship?
My name is Shahira. I'm 35, and I don't want to give the same answer that I gave last time, but I guess just be confident in who I am and my thoughts and my beliefs, and yeah, just lean more into confidence and less insecurities. So yeah.
Okay.
Your name and age, and answer this question.
Janae Moore with AOA in Trinity. I'm 33 years old. I learned just to, I guess, not settle. So not allowing myself to overlook certain things that I need.
Oh, I can't ask.
You want to ask?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
What are those needs?
I would say someone who can provide. It was some years ago. So I dated somebody like younger, and I was just like someone who can provide, and someone who can match me physically. And I mean, at that time, I was intimate. I'm not anymore. I'm waiting until marriage now. But at the time, he just didn't match me sexually, and I knew that even before we were intimate. So I should have just never done it.
Okay.
Okay.
The brother said, listen, it's giving you out here in them streets. He said, I'm for the good Lord. It sounds like you guys were on them streets. I'm not sure about it. He said, I'm not sure about it. Sounds like you were on them streets.
Your name and age, and the answer to this question.
I am Jessica, and I'm 36. I would say to receive grace and to give grace. I think when you're in a relationship with someone, they become the closest person to you. So they see intimate details that you don't allow other people to see. And so they can provide insight into who you are, and also remind you to give grace to yourself and give grace to one another.
Okay.
Okay. Your name and age, and answer to this question.
I'm Liz. I'm 36. Before I answer, is my skirt too short? Because you thought that I'm like
It is short, but I like your hair though. I like that you wear. You got locks.
Man, so listen, hey, there are exceptions to every rule. And just like life, there is always exceptions to a rule. If you bad enough, you can break every rule. What did I tell you about this? Rules are for ugly people. What have I told you? What have I told you about? No. Let me just make this point. What have I told you about rules? Rules are for ugly people. I keep telling you. Okay, all right? Rules are for ugly people. When people make these rules, it's to keep the ugly people out. Okay, so when you're pretty, you can break some rules. There's gonna be some rules that are gonna be bent for you. Okay, when the brother said, listen, your skirt was a bit short, he understood. Okay, he understood. You know what I mean? So, boy, oh boy.
So I don't know. You might.
So something I learned in my last relationship is how important it is to like really stand on my boundaries and not self-sacrifice just to stay in the relationship. I feel like I did that a lot. So I wound up in relationships that weren't really the best for me because I was just, doing things to keep the relationship going instead of, staying true to myself. So sticking to my boundaries.
All right. Okay.
Your name and age.
Now, my question is this. If he ended up choosing the other girl, would it mean that he doesn't like black women? You know what I'm saying to you? I just want to, like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, if he ended up choosing the darkest, if he ended up choosing the light skinned girl, does it mean that he doesn't like dark skinned women? Because sometimes I feel like that's what ends up happening, In this situation, people will be like, well, if he's chosen light skinned women, he only likes light skinned women. It's like, and it's like, this is where sometimes the conversation goes a bit left. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Because I'm looking at it now and I'm going, blood, I love dark skinned women, but can I be honest with you? The other girl is prettier. For me personally, you know what I'm saying to you? But for me, my preference is dark skinned women. I can't lie to you all day, every day. But the other girl's prettier for me. You know what I'm saying to you? So if I had a choice, I'm be honest with you, I'd probably choose the other girl. You know what I mean? But preferentially, I like my girl's dark skin. You know what I'm saying to you? But it's just a thought that came to my head. I was like, if he end up choosing another girl, would that mean, you know what I'm saying?
Didn't answer this question.
My name's Anita. I'm 37. And what I learned from my last relationship is you can't love someone into loving you back, like sticking to who you are and what your boundaries are. So I just kind of find myself losing myself trying to make myself become this person for someone because I wanted to be loved the right way when I could have just walked away.
Okay. What's being loved the right way? Like, what's that for you? What's that look like?
Well, when sometimes infidelity means that you're lacking something, so you're looking for that, right? And people make mistakes and everything like that because we're adults. But if it's constant, you're just holding on to me for something. You're not you don't want me. I'm not just fulfill a need for you selfishly. So you just keep me around, but that messes up me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so sis out here has got issues but beyond her skin tone. Yeah. All right. It's because there's issues beyond just the fact that. So now we see what I'm saying to you. There's a bigger issue. It's not the skin tone. It's a bigger issue. You got boundary issues. You got issues of when it comes to your yes, as someone said, trust issues. You got issues of holding on too long into relationships. You know what I'm saying to you? Right? You got previous issues when it comes to boundaries and it coming to also, right? You being able to know what your wants and needs are and having some self-worth and self-esteem. Now, regardless of what the issue is, you still have those issues. And regardless of what race or color or skin tone anybody is, everybody has those particular issues. So that's something that's just to work on. You know what I'm saying to you? Because regardless of whatever issue it is, it gets to that point, you still need to work on that issue. You know what I'm saying to you? You're 37 now. So we can run with the, men don't choose black women all day, but it doesn't really matter. The real issue is you need to actually work on your actual boundaries and work on those issues of self-worth and self-esteem. If you don't, you'll keep running into people that don't respect you. And that's what I'm saying to you. Outside of the colorism, we have to look at it as there are issues outside of that. Okay. So clearly there's some past issues that have coming up. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
So, yeah.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, it is time to pop a balloon. Go ahead and pop one.
Oh, okay. Man. All right. Pop.
All right, so why was your balloon unpopped?
I was very unsure, but he's nice looking. I like his hair. Got a nice face. You have a really intense glare, like your eyes are really intense. But then you said you like roller coasters. So I was like, is he serious? Is he fun? Like, it was confusing. So I'm glad you popped it. So
now, chick, get the frick out of here. Get the frick out of here, sis. I don't know why people pretend to see that in itself also is an insecurity like there, right? Where you're pretending. That's also insecurity. How you gonna pretend as if you wanted your balloon to be popped? Oh, I'm glad that you popped my balloon. No, you're not, because you keep the balloon unpopped. Do you know what I'm saying, Chu? You know what I mean? Like you feel me? Like it's nonsense. Like it's hogwash. Tell the truth. Like I keep saying this, like both men and women do this all this in a dating field, right? And the reality of the situation is, like, people pretend as if they're really more confident than they actually are. And this show actually exposes us. A lot of us are like this. I'm not even like gloating on anybody. A lot of us are like this. But that was a doo-doo answer. You know what I'm saying? If you're not interested, you'd have popped your balloon. But because he was attractive and mysterious, but actually I kept it up. I'm glad you popped it. So what? So what do you keep it open for?
Was causing you to be unsure?
Just he said the divine feminine, and then his eyes, and then that was it for me, really.
Do you need a pop?
Now she's someone that's your type.
It's a little too tall. And I like strong eye contact. I feel like the eyes are the window to the soul.
Exactly.
So
I agree.
I have nothing to hide. You know, I want you to look and see my eyes.
Yes, they're
So-
just super intense. I don't know if I like a soft gaze, but you know, you're like, so y'all can have that.
Not you saying y'all can see. She got issues. See, she's actually got issues. See, this is what I'm trying to say to you. She's got issues because when you see the little comments there, you might not realize it, but she's got issues. Why is she going to say that y'all can have him, sis? You had your balloon unpopped. See, that I'm trying to say to you, like, look. There are issues. So there are issues across the board. If you don't sort out your issues, it will come up eventually. Like whether you dark skin, light skin, whether you blue, you green, you're gonna have an issue. Okay, all right. Old girls out here saying, "Oh, you girls can have him." That air of arrogance, but it's not really. Well, it is arrogance. It's not confidence. It's arrogance, right? It lacks any real depth to it. So you telling the girls, "Oh, you can have him," sis. Your balloon was popped. Your balloon was open, blood. Do you know what I'm saying to you? I see you, Sean. You know what I'm saying to you? Your balloon was open, blood.
Sure.
All right, Josh, we've got 4 girls left. Go ahead and ask them another question. Sorry, 4 ladies.
Okay. Wow. What's the best advice someone's ever given you throughout the course of your whole life?
Okay. What's the best advice someone has given you?
The best advice, that's going to sound like the best advice comes from the Bible. That's just where the best advice comes from. And so anytime I open the book, I'm getting advice every single time. So I would say the Bible. I mean, if you want to know what it is, you want to know what?
Yeah, what's one from the Bible that you?
I would say it's seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things will be added unto you. So if you seek God first, then God will direct your path.
All right.
Okay. What about over here?
I believe the question was the best piece of advice. It came from my dad. His motto is "Don't ask, just believe," and that's something that I've adapted to my entire life. I think it's important to have a strong belief in faith, and if you have a strong belief in faith, then you don't have to ask; you just have to believe.
Okay.
What about over here? Best advice.
Liz, 36. My best advice is also from my dad. And this is going to sound cheesy, but it's be a leader, not a follower, which I learned it when I was young, but I do think it applies in adulthood too, with like so many people who like seek validation from others and things like that. So I've always like used it to just walk to the beat of my own drum. And yeah.
Okay.
Can't lie, she's cute. That girl here, she's cute. There's something very feminine about her, very cutesy, a little bit ditzy, but when I say ditzy, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. Almost like she almost plays a little bit naive, a little bit on that spectrum. You know what I'm saying to you? You know, so I definitely see that. You know what I mean? Like I like her little look. You know what I'm saying to you? I ain't gonna lie to you. I see what a man. I see that is, you know what I'm saying? Just something cute about it. Yeah, something endearing about it. Exactly. I love that, you know. I can see why brother said he make an exception for the short skirt, because the skirt is short. Okay.
And what about over here?
I'm not trying to be on trend here, but my best advice came from my stepdad. He's an amazing man of God, and he just explained to me the power of grace. In a generation where we're all lost and people feel like maybe they're not good enough to go to Christ or to come, and the people that are in the church are condemning and pushing them away. He expressed to me giving and getting grace, and how the grace of God is enough for all of us. So that alone just kind of changed my mindset, and I noticed that I kind of operated and feeling like I didn't have to fix it myself, but just to spend time with God, surrender what I do desire, and everything's fallen in place since.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to dwindle them down, so I'm going to have you pop 2.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. So I can pop.
Okay, one more.
You said the title.
Okay, let's come on over here first. So
why are you self-eliminating?
So why was your balloon unpopped?
Well, he's an attractive man. I like how you're well put together and you're asking good questions to get quality answers from us. So I like that you're being intentional and you weren't afraid to come a second time to find love.
Yeah.
And why'd you end up popping hers?
Just I think the attraction, you know, that was just that. But yeah.
All good.
Thank you.
Okay.
And why did you end up popping your balloon?
I just thought it was right. I don't know. I just remember that. Are you 40?
I am.
I know. I just remember that you're a little bit older than what I prefer, but I was willing to like, hear you out and see. And yeah, there's not a lot.
Nah, sis, stop that nonsense. Because you unpopped your balloon for this thing. I need you to stop this nonsense. Did she not unpop a balloon? Am I forgetting it? Maybe I'm confusing her with it. I know it's definitely her, but maybe she did it in another guy. But did she not unpop a balloon for this guy? Or am I thinking of another guy, was it? You know what I'm saying to you? But old girl said, I just remembered you're 40. How did you just remember that? How did you just remember that? I was like, wait, how you just remember? Yeah, she did pop a balloon. I remember. She did. Let me go backwards. She popped a balloon. She popped a balloon later on.
Let's head on back. All right. Your name and age.
Janaea Moore with 808 and Trinity. I am 33.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
she
why did
popped
you end
a
up popping your
balloon.
balloon?
So I popped it because you said divine feminine, and I'm more for like the fruits of the spirit. So I wasn't sure what you meant by divine feminine. I mean, I could have asked, but
Yeah.
I was unsure about that. That sounded very like spiritual, and
I like how you're well put together and you're asking.
remember that. Are you 40?
I am.
I know. I just remember that you're a little bit older than what I prefer, but I was willing to like, hear you out and see. And yeah, there's not a lot. I think you're attractive and you have a good head on your shoulders.
Okay.
Our two ladies left. Any questions for him? Okay, she's ready.
So you said you work in the mental health field.
Mhm.
So how does that work in a relationship? Like, how do you ensure that when you have conflict in a relationship, it's not like coming off like condescending or like everything? Like, what does that look like? I guess.
Okay, she be looking at you in some way. Sometimes it'd be unsure. Sometimes it'd be. I'm a little bit concerned by the look that she gives you, because she be looking like she's unsure, not fully there. You know what I'm saying, Chu? Sometimes I don't know, but she's cute, but it's just the fact she be looking at you unsure. Like, what are you looking for, sis? But she's cute though.
So I definitely do a lot of like self-reflection, right? To check on my, emotional state. So I think just me being self-aware, recognizing where I'm at.
This woman's got her breast up in a whole video.
Honest,
I can't see anything else but the breast in the corner of my screen.
Feel what I'm feeling and get connected to me, so that way it doesn't like radiate on someone else.
How is that communicated?
How is it communicating?
Yeah.
Well, I could communicate myself, and then after that, I could communicate with you. This is how I'm feeling.
No, like how would you communicate to your partner that you need space, or like what does that look like?
Yeah. It looks like I need space.
Why was that a pop?
I'm just like I kind of have like an anxious attachment style. I know that about myself.
Oh, we know, sis, because the way that you're looking at him like you're not sure, we can tell. We can tell.
So I would need like someone who would over communicate, like, hey, I need a little space, and like just give me a little reassurance in those moments. And it sounds like you might kind of just do your own thing a little bit. Yeah, which is a little scary for me.
Okay.
But
so why don't you ask a question directly in regards to communicating about how would you be able to reassure me? Because first and foremost, what you didn't do is actually say that part. You said about communicating in a situation, but you didn't make it very direct in terms of like, you've got an anxious attachment. How can I be reassured? Which tells me that you're also a bad communicator, because in that particular moment, you should be letting me know that you have an anxious attachment and that you're going to need reassurance. But he just said, I'm going to take space. He communicated that. That's what he's going to communicate. Hey, I'm going to need some space. You know what I'm saying to you? So in that space, you should have let me know that's what you need. It's not a one-way thing. Communication is a two-way thing. You know what I'm saying to you? Right? So he might be a bad communicator, but you also a bad communicator too, because sis, you didn't even let us know. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, you're very attractive. I loved everything you had to say, but yeah.
Damn. So he might have actually stuck. He might actually have gone with her, but she popped her balloon.
So now is she someone that is your type?
Yeah, she's my type. Yeah, she is.
He's bummed. Look, the way he's slapping the side of his thigh, he's definitely hurt. The way he is slapping the side of his thigh, he is definitely
like an anxious attachment style. I know that about myself. So I would need like someone who would over communicate, like, hey, I need a little space, and like just give me a little reassurance in those moments. And it sounds like you might kind of just do your own thing a little bit. Yeah, which is a little scary for me. But yeah, other than that, you're very attractive. I loved everything you had to say, but yeah.
Okay. So now is she someone that is your type?
Yeah, she's my type.
Okay.
Yeah, she is.
Okay, let's go over here. Any questions over here?
I have to.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so what exactly happened with the match from last time? And the second question, so you can pick which one you want to answer first. When you do go into your I need space times, is it something that you do because you really just need space, or is it something that you do because, hey, you don't like what I said and you're going, oh, I'm going to put her in timeout. I need space.
Yeah, no, I don't do that. So if I need space, it's like I'm gonna communicate. I need space. The anxious attachment style, I'm kind of glad that you said that, because I think that's something that we all have to work on ourselves. But that's something that I can't do. I feel smothered.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I'll communicate. So
Was that the
Yeah, he don't communicate, but do. Yo, that answer told me everything you need to know. Yeah, you know what? Olga was right to pop her balloon, and you know what? They would have destroyed each other. Because my boy just said, "Listen, I feel smothered." I said, "Oh yeah." he said he feels smothered. I said, "Yeah." And the fact that you can't explain it, I said, "Yeah." You know what, bro? He gonna be a problem. Okay, all right. He gonna he gonna be hurt, and he gonna take some space. You might not see him for 2-3 days. You know what I mean? In that particular space, yeah. Now I'm bantering, but. He didn't communicate as effectively as I thought. He needed to. Probably a few more words would have been helpful.
the issue from the other?
I prefer. So what happened previously in previous relationships?
You don't
She's
wanna
not
talk about
here
it, okay.
to defend herself, so
Okay.
I don't want to say anything.
Okay.
That's
Okay. Do you have kids?
no kids.
Do you want kids?
I do.
And like, what do you see yourself in the next 2 years?
Married with at least one child.
Okay, well, let me bring you on up here with us. Let's all come up here. Come on up, y'all. All right, so she asked quite a few questions. Josh, do you have any? If you don't have any,
no
that's
questions.
fine. No questions?
No questions.
Okay, well then, is it a yes for you for him?
Yes.
And is it a yes for you for her?
Yes.
We got a match! I'll take this mic, and you guys can go on off, get your girl. Let's make some noise for them. Woo!
I'm impressed. I loved it. All right, listen, let me get my boy up in here, man. Yeah, I did say, listen, enough of the chitty chat, man. You lot are chatting too long. There's a lot of there's a lot of chit chat. Cut it out. What's your thoughts on this, Sean? Like, this is such a. I said obviously we're talking, I guess, on just specifically this particular couple because obviously the issue that came up of colorism and self-sabotage in this aspect. But I want to get your kind of thoughts and what you saw and what you were gleaming from this situation. Because I know it's gone viral now. So, what was your kind of thoughts on this?
Yeah, no, it was such an interesting thing to play out, and I hate that she felt that way. You know what I mean? Like you could see her, just thinking through that, she's not gonna be his type and making those judgments, So I saw both sides of it. I could get the part where someone is saying that, it's an insecurity, but if that's how you're treated, if you're treated that way, if that's what your interactions, are, it's the reality of it. So I see both sides of that part. I'm glad that he, we saw in real time how he was able to just be like, no, I think you're beautiful. And then the compliments that he gave her, I thought was like, chef's kiss when he really just, talked about her features, her eyes, her this or that, her beautiful skin. I thought that was so, amazing that he just really just, was able to reaffirm how he saw the beauty in her, and not just said, oh, you got a nice rack, or you got a nice, fill in the blanks.
Yeah, he didn't just go for the physical attributes in terms of just like, breast and bum and you got a nice figure and all that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying, Chu? So he definitely appreciated her in the right way, you know what I'm saying, Chu? With a kind tongue, and said words that were flattering that should be said, you know what I'm saying, Chu? And so there was an uplifting in that particular moment as well. I still think it's insecurity, personally. I totally understand why this may happen, and I'm very empathetic to the fact that colorism exists and it does work a a dark magic on women, and it is a painful thing to go through because you grow up in a way that you look at yourself as negative in terms of your skin tone. I still think that's an insecurity because it made her take herself out the game with somebody who might have wanted it. Now, do I fully believe that's his full-on type? I'm not saying that he doesn't like dark-skinned women. I'm going to say rather, I just don't think that I don't think she meets the aesthetic that he actually wants. I'm going to be honest with you. Because the girl that was still in there, I mean, I can see that he probably wanted that girl a bit more. But again, maybe had a girl looked like that girl, in terms of aesthetics, looks wise, I could see how he might have wanted that dark-skinned woman too. He would have been more happier. But that's just my personal opinion. I think that's me also judging, and he actually could definitely be really excited about this woman too. So it's open in that way. But I definitely understand that colorism can play a role in that. But I still believe it's fed into an insecurity. I don't know if you can challenge that, Sean, to give us a different perspective in that regard. Oh wait, you're muted, bro.
My bad. Yeah, I feel like it's like they're feeding each other. Her insecurity is fed by colorism, right? So it's a little bit different to say like, oh, she's just it's not like, you just dismiss her as just being flatly insecure. That it's rooted in something, it's rooted in truth, it's rooted in very real experiences. So I don't think it's just insecurity. Obviously there was a level of insecurity because she felt that she wouldn't be his type versus if she liked him, just seeing where it went. It's fear. It's not wanting to be rejected. It's, it's a lot of different things. I don't think it's just one particular boom. This is the reason why, she popped her balloon and self-eliminated. I think it's a lot of things. I think that she appears to be a confident woman. However, some of our insecurities scream louder than others. Some of our insecurities are rooted in, everyday experiences and how we're treated. So, like, hey, do I have an insecurity if I get stopped by the police? Yeah, but it's a real one. You know what I mean? Like, it's a real one that, because there are some things that have happened that are real. So that's kind of how I see it when it came to her.
Yeah, I definitely hear that. I mean, I think for me personally, in that situation, the like I said, the issue I had was that she tried to flip it on him though. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like a mean thing or anything like that. But like if then the story goes back, like this is what happens, and I call it the negative cycle feed. Because what happens is, let's say she goes back to her girls and says, you know what, he didn't like me, he didn't want me. Now she's gonna tell her friend, yeah, because I was dark skinned, that's why he didn't want me. But that's not the truth. So now if your friends in here, let's say 5 of your friends hear that story, they're now going to be reinforcing their bias when they were never there, and actually the truth of the story isn't actually being told. That's why I said that it's an insecurity, and that she needs to heal that, because it affects other people too. You know what I'm saying too? I can understand where it's rooted in, and I can acknowledge the fact that colorism plays that particular role and how it affects people. But like I said, because it's an indating aspect, right? If she goes back to her friends and goes, oh, because he didn't want me, he didn't, he didn't, there's no evidence even for that. But she'll be like, that's how I felt. But it's like, yeah, I get that you felt that way, but there was no evidence for that. Do you know what I'm saying too? So if all your other 5 friends also got insecurities too, now they're like, yeah, see, now we know that light-skinned dudes don't want dark-skinned women. Whoa, like, you know what I'm saying too? Like, so now we can't even get past that point, because we're not even, like you said, we're not even allowing ourselves to even have that experience. You know what I'm saying to you? So it's like me saying that light-skinned women don't want me. I've had those experiences. Absolutely true. When I was younger, the light-skinned women did not want me. Do you know what I'm saying to you? But that's not why I don't choose them. I don't choose them because I genuinely prefer dark-skinned women. It's not about that skin tone. That's amazing. But you know what I'm saying to you? But so for me personally, then if I start feeding into that, right, and start feeding into a narrative of, yeah, every time I meet a light-skinned woman, oh, they don't want me. And then I tell my boys, yeah, bro, listen, these light-skinned women don't want no dark-skinned man. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Of course, it's slightly different because, again, we talk about dynamics, we talk about, obviously, history, we talk about the fact that as a dark-skinned man, how we're fetishized as well. So it's slightly different. I'm just giving an example. So just for anybody out there, I totally understand there's going to be a difference in terms of those aspects. Don't know if you want to give a bit of pushback in that particular sense, Sean, as well.
Yeah, no, I think that it's one of those things. It's like I wouldn't hold her accountable for that. I would say, try to be more confident. And work on if she's feeling like she's not enough, feeling that way. But the truth is, there is a preference. How many, just over the course of the last week, how many times, even on Dear Future Wifey, we heard 2 different examples of men talking about their preference being lighter skinned women, light skinned women with curly hair, and these different features and preferences. It's real. So I don't think that we can just tell her don't think that way, or if you are thinking that way, then other people are going to think that way. It's partially true. There is truth to that. Now, does that mean that every single 100% of men think that way? No. But in life and in dating, you go with odds, right? If the odds are most men that look like X, heck, it's not even light-skinned men that dislike dark-skinned women. It is dark-skinned men that also.
That's what I'm saying.
Usually, it's the other way around. Usually, you will see light-skinned men with women that are, I hate even saying darker. Just even women that are, a darker complected. So I just feel like it's true. I know it to be true. I know it to be true for if I look across my friend spectrum, if I look across the people that I know, it's true, so I don't think she's wrong for feeling that way. I think, what you could work on is not, is giving people the benefit of the doubt, and just kind of seeing where your cards lay. But, the experience is real. If you see what's put on a pedestal, if you see what most men, if you ask most men, most Black men, who's your type, who's your celebrity crush, chances are it's not going to be a woman that's the same complexion as her. There's those outliers, but most of the women that are in every guy's top 5, they're not overwhelmingly going to be, that woman's complexion.
See, I like to challenge that, because I think whilst I do believe there are anecdotal stories go behind that, where people have experienced those things, right? That's what ends up happening with Black men, and saying, well, I was not liked by Black women, so I went to white women. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, we get that your experience is real. Like, these things do happen, right? And you may not have been favored in the particular pond that you're actually in. It's totally understandable. You know what I mean? But then when you look at even stats, majority of married Black people. You know what I'm saying to you? Now, of course, we don't have the stats in terms of if they marry light skin or dark skin. Do you know what I'm saying to you? But like I said, when I'm looking around, right? Like, for instance, when I look around, majority of Black people, dark skinned Black people that I see, have married other dark skinned Black people. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, so again, I'm not saying that these things don't happen, and I'm not trying to discount colorism. You know what I'm saying to you? But what I'm saying is, in essence, is that in this instance, it's not about the fact that she felt some type of way. I'm not disputing that. Whatever you feel is how you feel. It's the action she took. The action that she took was immediately to disqualify herself. That's the insecurity, and that's the problem. And then she didn't just do that, She actually then started making an excuse about, oh, I didn't think you actually wanted me. No, well, that came after. What she actually said is, I didn't feel the chemistry, When really you did feel the chemistry, like, you know what I'm saying? She like, and then you almost put it onto him as if he didn't feel you. No, sis, you are not sure if he liked you or not. You should have just kept yourself in there and seen if he wanted you or not. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So for me, that's the thing I'm looking at. Do you know what I'm saying to you? I'm looking at, like, it's not about even necessarily holding her accountable, because it's not really about holding her accountable, but it's a more of a case of, let's not pretend it's not an insecurity, number one. And number two, the action she took was a self-sabotage. It's just that simple. Like, it's not about understanding. I understand it already. You know what I'm saying to you? But it's a self-sabotage. You know what I mean? Like, and several times, and if that's the case, we have to apply the same stick for light-skinned men on the show. We have heard it more than the dark-skinned women. We've heard it more times where the women have said, oh, you're light-skinned, several times. So now the question I've got to ask you, Sean, do you have an insecurity about you being light-skinned and dark-skinned women? Because we've heard it enough time on the show, and we've been here enough times.
No, yeah, we absolutely do hear that. And I think, how do I want to say this? There is a difference, because I've had experiences like that. I've had women tell me several times, they prefer or have dated darker guys. They prefer a chocolate guy. When you hear women, a lot of women, well, their top 5 is going to be a man that's darker. But, at the end of the day, I also have to realize there does come privilege with that, because the difference with lighter skin being not preferred, and men sometimes from women, it is also, I do get a privilege of being lighter skinned generally. So society will look at my, you know, my skin coloring as a preference. So yeah, in this like kind of microcosm of color, you know, it is, I'm still kind of like not at the higher end of the pecking order, but in the grander scheme of things, lighter skin is, you know, seen as a preference. Whereas for her, that's not the case, you know? So being a woman of a darker hue, it's not, that's not universally seen, you know, as the beauty standard. So I think that's why I can kind of still lean into empathy with her. I can understand, yeah, sometimes is it frustrating for me? Sure. But it is still not the same. It's not apples to apples.
So I don't. You're right. I don't want to make it apples to apples, but again, I think this is very interesting because a lot of times we talk about people that actually get gal. If you don't get gal, it's gonna be apples to apples. See, if you're not, if we talk about not preference, right? When we talk about what people get, right? We are often talking about the top of the creme. When you talk to people who don't get girls and then they get rejected the same way for being light skinned and because they're not masculine, or you got that, you know, you're going to be feminine, you're going to be. There's so many tropes about light skinned men that come on this show actually as well, right? About the way they are. Right, not being masculine, not being strong men, always showing too much emotions, right, and linking that to, you know what I mean? So for me, it's like, okay, then if that man was to show an insecurity, would we have the same grace for him? If every time and then what would happen was that would say, no, it's not the same because, you know, he's a man. But what if he's heard it all his life that every time he's dealt with a black woman that they've said to him, you're not masculine enough. That's why I don't choose you. I don't choose light skinned men. I choose dark skinned men. Oh, there's something about that skin tone that's about dark-skinned men. I don't know. You're just too light for me, right? Then if he then responded the same way this young lady responded, would we be saying, well, we just totally understand. We just totally understand. Or would we be calling him a sassy nigger for responding the way he just did, popping his balloon before you got there? You know what I'm saying to you? There is the aspect is the action I'm talking about, not necessarily the feeling that the person has. I understand the person has a feeling. I'm talking about the action. Action, if it's self-sabotage, you have to work through that. Do you got what I'm saying to you? You're going to have to work through that because it's going to appear in a relationship regardless. That's why she started talking about how she got cheated on and staying in a relationship where she got cheated on too much. And I was like, oh, I know where that comes from. That's got nothing to do with, well, sorry, not to say nothing. That's got partly to do with it, but you've actually got insecurities that now bleed into that, how you deal with relationships. That's got to get looked into. You know what I mean? But again, you know, I'm always looking for the pushback and different way of looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, I think those are two different things that are happening. So, I guess I just see like the layers in it. I wouldn't necessarily, if a guy did that, if a guy popped his balloon, you know, like let's say it was a you know, another, you know, if the roles were reversed and he was in the audience and he popped the girl, because I've seen guys pop their balloons before and be like, oh, I didn't, you know, or like if the guy kept getting hit because he's short, right? Because we see that a lot too in these types of shows, right? The guys that are, you know, shorter or short kings or whatever, they're not getting chosen because a lot of ladies are looking for men that are, you know, in the 6 foot category and above. So if he were to pop, yeah, we might say, yeah, that's a little insecurity, get over it. But if the reality is every time you run up against women and they're telling you that they want a guy 6 foot or more, and you're not that, it's the reality of it that sometimes you're just going to be like, it seems like, you know, she doesn't like me. She's actually probably not going to like me because I'm less than 6 feet. I think that's a reality. And I don't think that, I mean, I think it's something that you can, you know, affirm and try to build yourself up, but it's also a real situation that you're going to have to deal with in the dating world. And there will be some women, you know, that'll be like, I'm not 6 feet, you know, I'm not 6 foot, you know, I'm not necessarily quote unquote statistically short, but I'm also not 6 feet, you know, I'm 5'10". So there's some women that just aren't going to like that. Some women want 6 feet. And if that's my experience, you know, I might be shyer, you know. I think I don't know. Like, I think, yes, should she be more confident? But I don't think it's something that we need to like be like, oh yeah, you really got to work on that because you could be self-sabotaging. Because if the odds are most men aren't really checking for you, that's your reality. So sometimes you got to do things to protect yourself. Not everybody wants to put themselves on the chopping block and potentially get hurt if they're constantly in that, in that sphere.
Then I would say, then don't date them. Stay your ass off the show. Why are you on the show? You know what I mean? Like, then what would be serving for you being on the show? Because like you just said, example, right? The majority of the time when it's prevailed in terms of when it comes to let's say for instance colorism, right? And a man liking a light-skinned woman, it ain't coming from the light-skinned dudes. Right? It's not coming from the light-skinned dudes. We actually see that more prevalent with dark-skinned dudes. This guy was not a dark-skinned dude. So why is it that the insecurity popped up with this light-skinned dude and immediately you self-sabotaged? Right? If we're going by anecdotal aspects, it usually comes from the dark-skinned dudes. You know what I'm saying, Chu? So that's what I'm saying. Like, again, it's not about, throwing her underneath the bus. No, not at all. We don't want to throw anybody underneath the bus in this situation. But it is that she is gonna have to actually get some confidence, because it's going to cause her to sabotage in a relationship too, because she's going to look at things in a way where she feels like, okay, I'm looking at it from my perspective, and maybe doesn't want me, or maybe doesn't want to talk to me, or maybe doesn't do this, and that after a while becomes annoying. It becomes so annoying when someone's like that, always premeditating, that they don't want to be wanted, don't really liked, or he said this, and it's not like, when that person has to deal with that person consistently, then they don't have to be with you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's annoying. So it's like, if you are going to be premeditating to self-sabotage based on what you've said, and I totally understand what you're saying, then you should be on the show. You shouldn't be on the show, because like if you go and pop in this situation, you're gonna have to pop on every single man that comes your way. What man is not gonna perpetuate the colorism aspect? What man isn't? Do you get what I'm saying to you? What man isn't?
Listen, I think these pop the balloon things are social experiments. So I don't think she shouldn't come on the show. There's people that have done far worse that I would be like, yeah, y'all need to stay home because you got too much going on. But just because how many people have insecurities in life? I think this was a perfect example for her to be on the show, because she saw a guy who genuinely was attracted to her despite her previous experiences. So I think that this is the first in line of some confidence builders. And then for her, hopefully that lesson in and of itself is like, hey, listen, and Arlette talks to them too. She made the little comment about, hey, don't do your disservice to yourself. You're beautiful. And I think her seeing that, hopefully seeing that positive impact, that could help her to continue to do some self-work and be like, you know what? I don't have to go into every situation like that. But again, it's the reality, because I'm sure she didn't just land this way. She has been treated in a particular fashion. So I think that's we all have everybody has something, that they're working with. So I think like this was just, to me, it was more of a lovely example, right? Because it could have gone in a lot of different directions, because he could have just confirmed everything that she thought and kept it trucking. But, he had a unique opportunity and he didn't do that. So.
No, definitely. I mean, listen, look, I think, again, it could have been definitely a negative way of going in a direction. You know what I mean? And I definitely feel like there's a lesson for her to learn in that particular space. So I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying to you? I just want people to be real. That's my thing. I just want people to be real. Like, you know what I mean? Like we see, like you said, you gave an example of someone short, and he sees a taller girl. Does he take himself out of the game and unpop the balloon? Does he unpop himself now? Like, you know what I'm saying to you? Like, then you don't know, you can miss out on something, fam. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Like, we would call that what it is. It's an insecurity. You think that she's going to pop you, and she hasn't done that yet. Like, you know what I'm saying to you? Like, she hasn't done that. You gotta go through that processing and let the person do what they gotta do. If they end up rejecting, they end up rejecting you. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, and be done in that particular space. Then you move. If she says no, then you say no. It's cool. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Like, and I totally understand why shorter men would feel some insecurity, because again, most women talk about how they want a 6-foot guy. But if then you're on this show and you come on this show, you're likely to meet someone, right? You're likely to meet someone who's going to probably be taller than you on the show. And if they come on the show and they're taller than you, and you pop your balloon before they've actually said that they're not wanting you, right? You are now showing the insecurity, and it's taking you out the game. And it's like you're missing an opportunity. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So for me personally, I would say, I've said to that gentleman, work on that insecurity, because it's caused you to make an action. It's not that you feel that way. I want to make it very clear the difference between the two. You feeling that way is understandable. It makes sense to feel that way. I have my own insecurities. You know what I'm saying to you? So it's not that I'm saying I don't have the feeling. I'm saying to you, it shouldn't lead you to an action. And I think Drusy put a really great example when you talked about the police pulling you over, right? She said, well, that the next action shouldn't be your next action shouldn't be then to put your foot down the pedal and drive off because you're scared, right? That shouldn't be your next action. You know what I mean? Your next action is to comply. But if your next action is to put your foot on the pedal, now you got a situation. And that's what I'm saying in this situation with the lady. And even if there's somebody who's short, like, don't put your foot to the pedal. Wait, like, let them give the instruction. If they want you, they want you. If they don't want you, don't want you. And then you can move from there. So it's a case of I'm with you, Sean. I agree. I understand that there is an aspect of insecurity that comes from colorism. I understand where it can come from in this particular aspect as well. I'm not doubting that. I'm saying, yeah, now we've seen it, sis, like, work on it, because it will take you out of a relationship. You know what I'm saying to you? And the way that she kind of flipped it on to the guy, as if he's the one that, you know, was causing the issue in a sense of like not liking her, when really it's just you. That's going to happen in a relationship. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maintenance of a long-term relationship, it's not going to help you long-term. But yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is something to be worked on, but it is also, society is the one that's the one that's telling you, because mostly, you know, yes, are women approaching men more nowadays, but most of the time successful relationships come from a man approaching a woman. So she knows who's approaching her. So if a man wants her or is interested in her, he will approach her. And I'll also say that the good thing was that she at least had the vulnerability to say what she thought it was, because she could have just shucked it off. And what a lot of people do is just be like, yeah, you know, he's not my type, because a lot of people do that too, knowing they like the person, but they're going to reject before they can actually reject the person. But she was just honest to say, you know, I just didn't think I was your type. So I think, to me, there's vulnerability in that, of her sharing what her true feelings were in terms of what she thought. And then it gave him an opportunity to say, hey, listen, you know, you know, you are my type. You know, I do like you. I do find you attractive. It's the exact opposite. And lastly, I'll say the whole police thing. I think everybody handles their anxiety different, and we all have, you know, perfect case scenarios of how we would react, or how we would want to react, or how we quote unquote should react. But sometimes our body reacts differently. Sometimes our lived experiences cause us to do things differently. So yeah, somebody might hit the gas, but the difference is that white people have a higher likelihood of still hitting the gas and coming out alive, where a black person will hit the gas and likely not make it. So I think it's very hard for us to just be so, you know, fixed and fast. This is what you should do because you shouldn't do this. Well, you also shouldn't be in jeopardy by somebody whose sheer job is to protect and serve the public. But you as a person, just simply because how you look, which you have no control over, you shouldn't be in danger when you're faced off with the police. So I think, again, these things we can say, oh, you shouldn't do this, you know, just comply. Yeah, well, we see sometimes even when people just comply, they still don't end up on the right side of things. And we see when women are still confident, right? Flip it back to what we're talking about, are still confident and like, I'm beautiful. Men still aren't. They still aren't going after them, right? Men still aren't approaching them. So I think, you know, it's easy to say, but it's still a nuanced thing for me.
No, I get you. I mean, it is easy to say, of course, because we're on the other side, right? And I'm a male, I'm not a woman. But within your situation, within your example that you gave, yes, you're right. I've even spoken that with Philip Mitchell's situation. But the difference is that the first action is what we're talking about. If you put your foot to the pedal, it doesn't matter whether you're white or black, you've broken the law. Now, the consequences of breaking that law is different. You're absolutely right. But it doesn't make a difference because you've broken the law. You get what I'm saying to you? Now, it might be unfair in terms of the consequence that happens, but you're still broken the law. So what we're talking about here is that if you take yourself out, okay, all right, if you take yourself out the game, right, you have made a decision. Now, if you've done everything right and they decide to abuse you, that's completely different. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a situation where we're dating right now, and we're talking about you in a lineup. And yes, you may handle anxiety differently, but you popped your balloon and self-sabotage. Had it not been for Arlette to come in there and ask you 2 questions before she got to the truth, she didn't start off with the truth. If you hadn't asked her the 2 questions first before she got the truth, then this would have not got to that point. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, then we wouldn't have got the honesty and the truth, right? So shout out to the truth. I'm not saying that, you know, we're not going to dismiss the fact that she gave the truth, but I'm saying to you, it took a third party to ask 2 questions before we got there. If Arlette's not there, that's what I'm saying to you. The narrative gets put that, oh, he didn't want me. You know what I'm saying to you? Oh, he didn't like me. And I'm saying to you, like, before you get to that place, that's why you've got to do your work, because otherwise you're taking yourself out of opportunities. We understand there is a history that works behind these things, and I'm not discounting that. I'm merely saying, though, you still need to do the work, because this could have been an X-tick situation. You'd have been X'd out and it would have been someone else. Now, there's no guarantee that he really, really wants that. There's no guarantee of anything. You know what I'm saying too? But you taking yourself out, that's on you. And I think we shouldn't flip that. We shouldn't move that goalpost for her because we understand colorism. No, it's the same with a short guy. We understand the market says that, you know, 6-foot guys are what's desired. We understand that the market speaks about, quote unquote, we need a 6-foot man. And we understand these things, right? But if you take yourself out, then that's on you, no one else. You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna have to hold that. So I totally understand what you're saying about that you know, you can be abused by doing all the right things. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that it's about you making that decision in that particular moment. You felt anxious, yes, but you took yourself out. You know what I'm saying to you? So whether the other people get difference or not, it's still the same action in terms of like you've chosen to do this particular aspect. So in that space, she has to work on that because it will work in the relationship. I think that's just, you know what I mean? Yeah. You're giving some good points. I'm not saying that you're not. I agree with most of the points you're actually giving. So for the sake of the conversation, I'm trying to, you know what I mean, be a little bit agitated, you know what I mean?
It's one of those things which I almost was thinking like which comes first, the chicken or the egg, but that's not even a good metaphor. I think like at the end of the day, we're constantly making calculations, and a lot of our calculations, you know, we have to do what is going to be the greatest good or get us the best outcome. So I think like if it's something that is literally rooted in fact, I'm going to err on the side of if it's literally, we know colorism exists, right? We know that exists. We know it exists in life. We know it exists in media. So and then her lived experiences are going to tell her like how many men are approaching her, you know, like how often is she getting approached, how often is she chosen. So she has to make calculations, and I think we do that to protect ourselves and to keep ourselves safe. You know, and I think, yeah, she can make more adjustments and could she work, but I don't see like all the other stuff. I rule that out. Like, oh, she's messing it up for other people, other guys, who cares? Like, she has to do what's best for her. She has to make decisions that are going to be in her best interest. And if she knows how she's treated and how she shows up, I'm going to say if I were her, I would, you know, you want to make decisions that are going to be safer for you and to not constantly put yourself in situations where you could be hurt. Is there a chance where you could? Yeah, but what is the majority? You know, what's more often than not going to be the experience?
Yeah. So there are going to be a lot of experiences, you know, in that particular space, you know, and I think, you know, for her, she may have a bank of experiences that have taught her, like, you know, protect oneself. But protecting oneself also now becomes a self-defense mechanism and a survival tool. And relationships that are going to be the best type of relationships are not going to be based on survival. They're based on thriving. So if you're entering that space of dating from a survival perspective, right, then you're probably going to encounter other people who are also in that survival space. if you got what I'm saying to you. So I get it, right? And the reason why I said is because I linked it. That's why I was linking it back to when she made that story about the cheating person, about how she had to learn that aspect about her. And I was like, okay, cool. So you had to learn, obviously, not to stay too long, right, in a relationship, probably because because when we stay in relationships too long, it's usually our self-worth and self-esteem. And that I've had to learn it myself. You know what I'm saying? I have my own story. I've told you guys about staying way too long in a relationship, right? But that feeds into other things as well within a relationship, where you start comparing yourself, the way you start showing up, the way that you interpret other people's actions. So I'm looking beyond just even the show. I'm looking about, if you're in that survival mode, it's going to play a role in the relationship. So even if you get a good person who loves you and cares for you, you potentially can end up self-sabotaging that relationship, because that person's love can now become overwhelming. You might not feel worthy of that person's love. You might you know what I'm saying to you, because you didn't feel worthy here. That's why you self-sabotaged. So you know what I mean? And it always becomes a case of, even if you find the right kind of love, right? Even if you find the right kind of love, you potentially can self-sabotage. Now, I know someone said, obviously, you don't know. I don't know that, but I do that every single time I do a video. I don't know that. We never know, right? We go based on what we see. I do that on every single video where I take something and I go, we don't actually fully know if that's going to ever lead to that particular action. But we're saying that if you are self-sabotaging here, you are more than likely probably going to self-sabotage in that relationship. You self-sabotage without no information. He had none. You didn't know this man from Adam. He hadn't said anything. You just said, I felt like he wouldn't like me, because you already had preconceived ideas. So if those preconceived ideas are coming when he hasn't even said anything, more than likely you may do this also in a relationship where there's no evidence or anything. And in fact, if there is evidence, you definitely self-sabotage, because at least now you have some factual evidence and backing behind you. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So, you know what I mean? Like it's that kind of practice as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I wasn't connecting those dots, between when she spoke about her last relationship to the self-sabotaging, or, her popping her own balloon. Those are things to be considered. And absolutely, I think that's something that she needs to look at and to work on, and to, just revisit her experience in relationships and how she handles that. And we would have to, see how that plays out. I don't think her fact about the way she feels and how she popped that balloon, I think you're on a show. It would be hard for me to go on that show. I don't know, it really would be. And I don't even sit in the, and this is from a privilege of being a man, being not darker complected, it's all of those things are things that I just give her grace for, because sometimes you're like, you know what, I don't want to be stressed out. I don't want to relive this whole situation that I've had several times. In real life, I don't want to have it play out on camera for the world to see. So I do give her grace in popping her balloon, and hopefully now she sees, how it played out. She's getting I see a lot of overwhelming feedback from, about her online. So hopefully she sees that and can do some self-work and kind of get through whatever it is that is driving her experiences. But to me, it's still hard, because it's hard for me to be overly critical of her, because I know it to be a real thing. Just the same way we talked about it. There was a short guy that popped his balloon and saw a baddie out there, and, she's starting to give energy, and sometimes we go for vibes, and I could tell she gonna want a tall guy. I know it. And chances are, probably 9 times out of 10, you're right. There may be that one girl that's like, you know what, I don't care. I'll date a short guy any day. But if the odds are in your favor, you might just do it. And it's just, to me, I think it's just human behavior, and how we process and walk in life.
You're right. I think from my perspective, I see that self-sabotage, and I think to myself, I remember the times when I was 15, 18, and probably like 21. I remember 3 occasions with 3 different women, right? And who says one of them, I wasn't trying to date him, but I definitely was trying to do something. But I think in those 3 instances, I remember, right? All 3 instances. I remember the first one that ever happened to me was when I was 15. One girl. This girl for me, she was a baddie. I'm so sorry. She was a baddie. Ghanaian girl was just beautiful, right? And because I was a fat kid in school, and I was the one with the glasses, I was a funny kid. I was always every girl's best friend, right? I was in the friend zone. And I remember that I remember we spoke maybe a couple of years later when we finished school. We're now in university, and I remember we had a conversation. And I said to her, "Oh, like," I said to the pastor, "Look, I can't be lying to you. Back in the day, I used to have a crush on you." She's like, "Wait, what? Why did you never say?" I said, "Oh no, because like, what am I gonna say? Like, you were you, I was me. You know what I'm saying to you?" She's like, "Wait, what? No." She's like, "You don't even realize I had a conversation with your friend about me liking you." My brain was exploded because I said I could not fathom this girl. For me, she's so beautiful, and I was a kid that was trying to get her attention, but it didn't seem to necessarily work. Now, maybe I didn't, and let's be honest, maybe I didn't carry the confidence I needed. Maybe, you know, I wasn't as assertive as I needed to be. I definitely wasn't. I was young at that point. I was definitely somebody very self-conscious and thingy. But it taught me something instantly, right? Going back on it now from this point perspective, which is right, yeah. I never fully tried. The reason why I was afraid of the rejection. I never fully tried. Right? Now, who's to say? Maybe if I tried that time, she would have still said no. But if I didn't try, I don't know. Right? So, you know, you try to use the I'm the friend route. That's number one. Number two, at 8, I think it was at 18. Now, this one, I don't know what I was thinking, but, you know, when you get caught by the coccozoids, I don't know what happened, but, you know, I was caught in a mist. But, you know, as Dr. Umar said, the nobody will get you, you know. But I remember this particular one, right? There was a girl, and me and my guy both liked the girl. But I was like, you know what? I did the same thing she did. I said, okay, the way she's moving, I don't think she likes black men like that. You know what I'm saying? Too. So I'm not really trying to move that particular way. You know what I'm saying? Too. So like, I just kept on being a good friend. And I remember, like, I said this maybe a couple of years later when I came back. I was coming back from my Ibiza, and I came back and I saw her on the night out, and I said to her, at this point, I didn't really care because at this point, like I said, you know, she had changed and I wasn't interested anymore. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I think you catch my drift. So obviously, like we had a conversation outside the pub, and it was talking, and I was like, damn, we went with that guy, and I said, listen, I said I really wanted you at the time. You know what I'm saying to you, and we actually had a lot of flirting at the time, but I never pursued it again. You know what I'm saying to you? I tried to be passive about it by going around the friendship route. You get what I'm saying to you? And then she was like, why did you not try? She's like, I actually liked you. This is number 2 now. That's what I'm saying to you, right? We're on 2 now. Okay, all right. You know, so that was the second one, and then the third one that I had was probably I don't want to say that too tough. Let me be careful what I say. But the third one, obviously, that I had a situation where me and a girl were just really, really cool. Church, as always. You know, and I didn't want to make a move. I was like, you know what, we're church peoples, you know, you're cool, you're very, very pretty, you know what I'm saying to you, and you know, I don't want to mess things up. Do you know what I'm saying to you? I just enjoy being in your company. Let me not mess that up, bro. Again, a couple of years later, when you don't feel the pressure, because now it's a couple of years later, you're in a different space, you mention it again, and the person lets you know, why didn't you try it? Now, why am I mentioning these 3 examples? I'm mentioning it because each of those examples are nothing to do with the women. It is all to do with me. I had those insecurities, right? It was all on me. And because I had those insecurities, not only does it affect those particular women that I was passively trying to go after, it actually affects even the kind of woman that you actually get, because you don't believe that you're worthy of the kind of woman that you actually want. So this is what happens to a lot of guys too. We also have a lot of insecurities. We end up settling for a woman that you really didn't even really want, but because you're limited by your insecurities, it makes you choose someone who actually isn't even on your level for you, that you believe is on your level, and you mistreat that person, or you get mistreated, whichever one comes first. You know what I'm saying, Chu? So my thing is, again, irrespective of whatever the issue is, my issue was, I didn't get the love I needed as a kid. I hear all those kind of things. I got bullied a little bit when I was a kid. I hear all those things. I was a fat kid and I got bullied for that. I hear all that, yeah? I had glasses at the point and they bullied me. I hear all that. I was the African kid. I hear all of that. You know what I'm saying to you? But at the end of the day, those are 3 missed chances because of my own insecurity. We can understand my background as much as we want, but the choices I made also did not get me the results that I wanted. And if I want to get the results I want, something has to give. We can understand it all we want, but something has to change. Otherwise, it affects not only the people that come towards you, but also the people that you're willing to go towards. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah. Someone said I need to have a talk about Larissa's project. Oh Lord. I hope that's something crazy. But you know what I mean by the change.
I think she talk about Lateris.
Oh,
I think she means dear future wifey. That's what I think. I don't want to assume, but that's what I think. Look, I think life is life, and all of these experiences like have to happen for a reason. Like, I think it was good that she said it out loud so that then everything could be confirmed. And you know, or her or some of her you know, preconceived notions could be disproven, right? Because if she just went on with it, you know, and I think it's this also was for a greater good, because it was nice to see a man pour into a woman, right? Because too often we see the negatives. Too often we see, or we just see a man praising a woman for her aesthetic beauty and not necessarily praising the things that a lot of women say, hey, I'm a real woman. You know, most women aren't a size 6, you know, and 120 pounds dripping wet, right? So it was nice to see a real woman, an average woman get complimented on such a national platform. And I don't think that would have happened had she not done what she did. So I think that's the positive in that. And I think those other things, like I've ruled things out of myself. There's jobs, there's opportunities. We learn from that. We grow from that. You know what I mean? When you had that interaction with that other, you know, with the woman that ran into you and said, oh, hey, I liked you. You know, you could have, you know, you should have given it a shot. You know, I think like that was good, because now that's a lesson for you to learn. If there's no, like they say, there's no test without a test, no testimony without a test. So you needed that test so that you could learn better. So you learn from those experiences. And I think, you know, sometimes people just be saying stuff anyway. Hindsight is 20/20. And sometimes, you know what I mean, people I ran into, they'll be like, oh, you was cute. You know, you was a good looking guy. It's like, yeah. You just chatted. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people just want to say something, or they want to give you a little confidence boost, which is nice in and of itself. But I think chances are, in retrospect, that same girl that I liked, that was my childhood crush, she wasn't thinking about me. She was thinking about the guy playing basketball. She was throwing up them 3-pointers. And I mean, okay, fine. You know, and I had to learn, hey, I need to find that, push me to say, I need to find the thing about me that's going to give me the confidence so that I can get out there and be more, you know, so I think everybody has a lane.
You know what? It's yeah, you're absolutely right, Sean. And do you know what? I'm more passionate about these situations because something happened to me, something that God showed me a couple of months ago, and it pertained to this particular kind of behavior. And it's something that I didn't even realize is still there. A part of me is still in there. That's still working on it. And it doesn't just affect the initial dating phase. It affects long-term longevity of relationships. And I felt like, you know, when I saw it, I was like, okay, I know that. I've seen it before. Regardless of whatever's the root, the effect of it, the fruit of it, it's going to cause you more issues in long-term relationships. And I think that's why I was like, I saw it and I was like, okay, let's talk about this, because you know, the insecure, we always point out men and insecure men, and we see how easily we say, oh, those men, we know how they're going to be. We know, because they're easy to spot. But in this particular aspect, I was like, okay, how does this play? How does this affect long term? How does it affect your relationships? And something that even God showed me is that things like where someone disappoints you or someone hurts you, the way that you process it is actually very different. It's where we come back to attachment styles. There's also that kind of thing as well, right? Like if you process it from a place of I'm not good enough, or I feel like they don't love me enough, or they don't care about me enough, the effect of that particular disappointment, that effect of that argument, conflict, the effect of those conversations where it doesn't go the way that you think it's going to go, it hits so much harder. And then you self-sabotage by leaving relationships, or, you know, avoiding certain things, or pulling away from a relationship long term. And I think that's what I was seeing. I was like, even if he chooses her, if that comes up again, he will now be stuck in a place of choice of, how do I now have to support you? Can he do it? And listening to his conversation, that nigga ain't doing it. Okay, that's an avoidant right there. Okay, we heard him. He can't even explain how you gonna shut down. That he ain't gonna be the one. You know what I'm saying to you? And my thing is now, will she stay in that relationship longer than she needs to? Let's say he's not good enough. Let's say he doesn't communicate very well. Because I can't lie to you, as much as I didn't like the other girl, the Blade girl, Okay.
Christian
not
baddie.
nigga. Christian
That's
baddie.
what they were calling her online. I'm not saying she's a baddie per se. She's a good looking girl, but she was just so annoying with her rhetoric. But go ahead.
Sorry, it's not even Christian baddie. It wasn't that guy. She was the other one, the pretty one that.
Oh, the one with the leopard dress. Yeah.
Yes. Sorry,
Yeah, whatever pattern that was, probably wasn't leopard, but whatever it was. Yeah. She was pretty too. I liked her. She was my favorite. I liked her energy, her spirit. She was a little flighty sometimes, but
she wasn't. Yeah, she was.
It's a little,
just a little in the clouds, just a little.
She was hovering. You know?
Yeah, she was hovering a little bit. You know what I mean? Just hummingbird style. It was a little bit, you know. So, but yeah, no, because when she was talking, you could tell. I didn't, you know, it took a little while, but when he came down to the dark skin woman and he started explaining, I said, yeah, she's right. He's not explaining very well. He's gonna shut down. And I was looking at the dark skin woman like, actually, babe, you should take yourself out of the situation because I think he's going to shut down. I don't think he's going to be able to produce what you think he's going to produce. But again, that's what I'm saying about insecurity. It will even take you into relationships you don't need to be in. Now, I'm not saying that he's necessarily the worst. I'm just saying as an example. But yeah, yeah. That girl was definitely flighty as well.
Yeah, no, I understood that. The thing, I guess I gave him a little more grace because he also said he was in the mental health space. So I think that, you know, sometimes in that you're in an audience, you're in front of a camera. I think, you know, he could figure it out when they're one-on-one and trying to communicate things with her. And, you know, they could work things out. That's what I said. You know, his answers were a little, you know, stunted, but I do understand that standing there in front of all those people, having to speak, having to, you know, you got the lights, the cameras, action and all this. So, I gave him the benefit of the doubt saying, yeah, he could probably, you know, put a few words together to kind of explain himself. Whereas the other sister was like, it's a no for me because she said she has an anxious attachment. Now she was definitely a cloud dweller. Pretty girl, but the ladies, I wasn't a fan of the ladies this particular round. Even the first tall sister that had on like the black and white dress, I thought she was going to, you know, be cool, and then she started talking. I was like, it's
I know what you mean. In fact, we're hearing it, so we must go through at least one or two. You know what I mean? Just I watched parts of it. I didn't watch the whole show, so that's why. So I've watched parts of it. So to be fair, let me see if I can do this. How do I do this last time? I'm sure I had this last time. Oh, there we go. Let me see if I can edit this so it can be a better way. Because this shouldn't be in the way like that. There we go. Let's there we go. Okay. True.
Analyst by day, and I'm a DJ and actress as well.
And so why was your balloon unpopped?
He's attractive and I liked what he has to say.
And why'd you end up popping hers?
Once again, I just had to pop 3. You're beautiful, you're amazing. Yeah, I just had to pop somebody. I apologize. Hey.
Thank you.
Then our last one over here, your name and age.
Nikki, 33.
And Nikki, what do you do?
I own a balloon delivery service.
Oh, and so, Nikki, why was your balloon unpopped?
He's handsome, and I just wanted to hear what he had to say.
And why'd you end up popping hers?
I just wasn't honestly a fan of the gold in the hair. Other than that, you're very
fairy hair.
Yeah, you're very attractive. Other than that, yeah. So
I like the sparkle.
Work it, girl. All right. So I am now going to have you ask our remaining 6 ladies a question.
Okay. So the first question I had for the remaining ladies is, what's something from your previous relationship that you learned about yourself that you're going to take into your next relationship that make you a better person?
Okay. We'll start here first. Name and age.
Hi, my name is Shahira. I'm 35.
And Shahira, what do you do?
I am a footwear designer. I have my own footwear brand for women with larger shoe sizes, 9 through 14.
Okay.
I can't lie, she's a baddie though. She looked pretty. I can't lie to you. You know what I mean? She's a little bit tall, but she pretty. You know what I'm saying to you? I'll reserve the rest of the thoughts for later. But yeah, she's pretty.
Beautiful gowns.
Nice. And if you want to go ahead and just answer his question.
Vulnerability is the number one thing that I've learned from my past, and just to be more open and communicative about my feelings. I would hold things in, and then it would just, come out in ways that wasn't beneficial to the relationship. So now I'm learning to communicate, be honest, be vulnerable, because I want the same in return. So yeah.
For sure.
Your name and age.
Hi, I'm Janae Moore with 808 and Trinity. I'm 33.
And Janae, what do you do?
I'm a servant of the Lord. So I am a personal assistant. That is what I do right now, currently.
Nice.
Yeah.
She jobless.
I'm a servant of the Lord. I need her to cut it out. Cut it out. Let her matrix get up. She really, that one aggravated me. Come on now. I'm a servant of the Lord. You are a mistress of the dark. Because she is like she gets progressively more and more problematic. I don't like when people wrap all of this Christianity and stuff, but you really be diabolical, you know? So just knock it off, lady.
Hey, you're killing me the Trinity Matrix stuff. That is killing. My girl said, "Son of the Lord, baby, I ain't got a job. I'm in the church serving." Okay.
Yeah. And if you want to go ahead and just answer his question.
So what I've learned, I would say I haven't been in a relationship since I've been saved. So now that I'm saved, it's really the Lord who's changed how I have relationships now. So I would say that what I've learned from the Lord is patience, having the fruits of the Spirit, patience, communication, understanding, just allowing someone to just not making assumptions on what they mean, maybe asking them, what do you mean by that? And just having a heart posture that is good. Yeah.
Thank you. Your name and age.
My name is Jessica, and I'm 36.
And Jessica, what do you do?
I am artistic director for a dance studio.
Okay. And if you can just answer his question.
Sure. I would say something that I didn't do in my relationship that I'm focused on prioritizing this time around is making sure that I make my significant other the most important person. I think sometimes we allow time to get away from us and devoting too much time to other things, but just prioritizing quality time with that person.
Okay. All right. Your name and age.
Katera Wilder, 38, and I'm a biomedical engineer.
Now, Katera, if you can go ahead and answer his question.
So for my previous relationship, I realized that love isn't enough. I was in a relationship and
Okay.
This
baddie.
Perfection.
She's pretty. The dress fashion sense too.
You know, she remind me of like a little, like similar to Kenya Moore. Boy, because I fold for Kenya Moore, boy. I don't care if she's 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. Call it an age gap or whatever you want to call it. Kenya Moore would have me out here being a house husband.
No, she is actually bad. The get up is amazing. The all white ponytail looks slipped back, lips looking done too in terms of lipstick, done well done, makeup look done well. You know what I'm saying? She a little chest area exposed, little stomach area exposed, but it still looks classy. Girl looks like she's ready for a brunch, but looking for a business meeting too. Business meeting at the same time. She can dress well. Can't lie to you. You know. So shout out to that. You know what I mean?
then we loved each other deeply, but we needed more than just that. It needed to make sense in terms of logistics, like where we lived. It was a long distance relationship. And so as much as I want to have a partner, I want someone who's also intentional about making sure that they're ready for a relationship like a marriage.
Okay. Your name and age?
Liz, I'm 36.
Liz, what do you do?
I'm a business consultant for a software company.
A lot of smart ladies up in here today. All right. And if you want to go ahead and just answer his question.
I would say the number one thing that I learned is how to be a better communicator. I would say at times I probably wasn't the best communicator, even little things like if I need more time to think before we have a conversation about an argument we just had, I wasn't the best at communicating that. So I would say how to be a better communicator for sure.
And our last lady over here, your name and age?
My name is Natalie. I'm 38 years old.
Natalie, what do you do?
I'm a licensed social worker.
And if you want to answer his question.
The one thing that I would take from my last relationship is
I can't lie. She's looking back. I can't lie. She got me.
This one in the black dress?
Oh, she's fine.
She's pretty, but her personality. I mean, I guess as it gets further along, because I've watched this whole thing probably like twice.
Okay.
So yeah, she starts to aggravate me, but she is a good-looking woman. I can't take that away from her.
Okay, because she is an absolute stunner. Okay, I'm loving the little streaks of the little, what's it? I don't know if it's blonde or it's gray or whatever it is. The little streaks in there, the dress, the little slip, baddie. Now she looked like she got a little attitude. You know what I'm saying, too? So, you know, she definitely is in my my better years of my past, but you know, my past can still see into the future. You know what I'm saying? Too, she the baddie. Okay, all right. Bad.
That I was too forgiving of behaviors and words that were said. So for instance, you know, if they tell me that they're not ready for a relationship, I need to move on. And in that fact, I was too forgiving, and I would give too many chances to like try and prove myself. And that is one thing that I know that I will be taking on moving forward, to not be so forgiving.
That's right, sis.
Let's head on
Learn
back.
that lesson.
And now, what about for yourself? What's something you learned from your last relationship?
Communication is key. Without communication, the relationship, it'll become stagnant, and you really won't know your partner like you should. So communication is key, and that's what I take.
Okay, so you did hear a lot of responses. It's now time to pop 2 balloons.
Okay. So we're gonna go down here first.
Okay. Yeah, you go ahead. I'm gonna let you pop your 2 first, and then we'll see why.
Right. Sorry.
Okay, and then one more.
They all had similar answers, so this is.
Wait, the way he stabbed that balloon. Hold on. Oh girl that I said I think she's a bit of a baddie. She was blinking her eyes twice as if she was in danger. Let me just watch it how he put the balloon again.
And that's what I take.
Okay, so you did hear a lot of responses. It's now time to pop 2 balloons.
Okay.
Watch her face.
So we're gonna go down here first.
Okay. Yeah, you go ahead. I'm gonna let you pop your 2 first, and then we'll see why.
Right. Sorry.
Okay. And then one more.
Sorry, I'm immature. I'm sorry.
They all had similar
She said that was a
answers.
little bit violent.
This is.
Oof. Oh, okay. So let's go to the one you ended up popping, and then we'll come back to her. All right. So why did you have your balloon unpopped?
Physically, I do find him to be attractive. The cliche of I want to hear him out and hear more of what he had to say. But yeah, so that was it, really.
And why did you end up popping her balloon?
Honestly, you're attractive, you're amazing. I love your answer. But when you started talking, you got the gemstones on your teeth, and I just honestly just wasn't a fan of that. Yeah.
Hey, to each their own. What can I say? It's there, but I can take it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not forever.
Like you put it yourself, or you had to get it like implanted?
I put it myself. I implant it.
Like,
No.
you know, some people actually do that.
If I had to take it off tonight, I could take it off.
Okay,
Yes.
I see. All right. Thank you.
But each their own.
Yeah. And then we did get a pop over here. Why'd you end up popping your balloon?
I popped because I feel like when I was giving my answers, I could tell you were like looking around, trying to figure some things out. So I just didn't feel that connection there when I was answering. But you're attractive. I love your fit. Yeah. But
Miss Tweety Bird over here is over analyzing. She said you looked around when I gave you an answer, and Miss Tweety Bird started tweet. Oh, I thought I saw a pussycat. You know, her anxious attachment's definitely playing a role in that, because she needs to have ultimate contact, eye contact. Like her anxiety starts kicking up as soon as she feels that somebody is not 100% all in. So, or that, or she just doesn't fancy him. You know, let me not overcomplicate. Sometimes you just don't fancy the person. You know what I mean? But yeah. That was indeed.
just didn't feel that connection.
And now she's someone that's your type?
Oh, for sure. Honestly, it's difficult up here, you know, because everybody's attractive. So you're trying to figure something out on the fly, right? So I do apologize for that, but my focus was on you.
Oh, thank you. Okay, we now have 4 ladies left. Go ahead and ask them another question.
So who is the most important man in your life, and what qualities stand out about him to you?
Okay, start their comeback. All right, who's the most important man in your life, and what qualities stand out about him?
It's definitely my father. He is a genuine person. He loves my mother. And I just feel like I've seen what it looks like to have a husband who is funny. He likes to have fun. He was actually at a probate yesterday because he's an alpha. And so he still has fun even in his old age. But he's also serious. And so, yeah, he is my example.
Okay.
Okay, what about over here?
No, them shorts a little bit short. Can't lie to you. You know what I mean? If the other brother was here, he definitely go and send her back to the gallows, because that I didn't realize her thing was short. I thought she had trousers on. Can't lie to you. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if I'm feeling the shorts that short with the blazer jacket. You know, I don't know if I'm feeling that now. Can't lie to you. I mean, she's still a baddie.
I like it. I like that. It's like a little bit of, it's giving you a little corporate with a whole lot of sex appeal. You know, I like it. And they're in I think this is shot in Phoenix, so it's super, you know, that's the desert, bro. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I'll give it a pass.
I would have to echo her sentiments. My dad is the most important man in my life right now. He is just an extremely unique individual, and he always taught me to always be myself and to love people.
And let's hear from you over here.
I'd have to say my grandfather. He's my favorite person in the world. He's so amazing. He just is a provider. He cares about us. He takes care of us. I mean, even now, like, he gets my oil change. So like I'm just used to having, he's just somebody who takes care of the household. He takes care of 2 households. So I just love him.
He takes care of 2 households. What do you mean by that? Is it that a Rolling
That's what I'm
Stone?
talking about. She just be talking stuff. She just be talking stuff. You know, it's like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you saying right now?
She said he's taking care of 2 households. We need to know what the second household is. Your daddy got 2 families? Huh? Or she's talking about her dad providing for the rest for her that way.
Maybe like he takes care of his household and he helps to take care of her too. I don't know what she's trying. Now she wants to be a daddy's girl. Like she's come on now.
You're killing me.
And what about here?
I would say the same. My grandfather, he was so kind, and his love for the Lord was amazing. Like that's what I strive to be. And he just loved love. He recently passed away the day before Valentine's Day, and it's just so coincidental because, you know, he was just so loving, so kind. He was also a provider. I didn't have to think about anything when I was with my granddad, and he was 95, and that's exactly the kind of man that I want to marry one day. And he taught me about vulnerability and all that stuff. So I'm a completely different person thanks to my granddad. So
that's a good question.
So he was 95, still providing. Sis, you want to take the stress off him? You don't want to take the stress off him. 95 and still providing, sis. You know, you don't let him be. You want to let him rest. You're still providing the 95.
Oh, now she was talking about her grandfather. So now that's
I was minding.
Yeah, it was her.
That's the That's the God the end. That's God the end.
But I think the other one said her grandfather too, because didn't he ask her who was her idol or somebody like that, or what's a man in her life that she looks up to?
I thought she said her dad, didn't it?
I don't know. She just. I'm sorry. God forgive me. You know, she just really did agitate me. She grinded my gears a lot, so I might have missed some things.
I hear that still.
Question. All right, I am gonna have you pop 1 balloon.
Okay. Go right here.
Okay. So why was your balloon unpopped?
I think he's attractive. You seem well put together, and like you have a good head on your shoulder. So that's why I didn't pop.
Okay. And why'd you end up popping hers?
The other 3 ladies, they seem a little bit more outwardly extroverted than you. So that's the only reason why. You're beautiful.
Okay. Yeah. Now, are you more of an introvert?
I turn both on.
You know,
okay.
Yeah, for sure. It's tough up here. I get it.
It's all good. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, 3 ladies left. Go ahead and ask them another question.
Okay. Question would be, if there was one thing your partner could do that'd make you immediately smile and have butterflies in your stomach, what would it be?
Okay, let's go here.
This Negro brought out the playbook.
I would say just like small touches, like touch me on my back, or, you know, just little things when I'm not expecting it. Just small, like not words of affirmation, but touches of affirmation.
Okay.
What about over here?
Oh my gosh, there's so many things. Thoughtful gifts. I like thoughtful gifts. They're nice. Yeah.
And over here.
I love to dance, and so I would just love to have a partner while we're cooking, just to like grab me, twirl me around, and just dance in the kitchen. That would just make my heart melt.
Okay.
Her voice.
What a great
too.
answer.
I just get to pop in everybody else's balloon. I'm
like, let's end this now.
Let's wrap this up. Come on.
Oh, gracious king.
Okay. And what about for yourself? I know they want to know.
Honestly, just words. You know, hey, like, how was your day? You know, how are you? You know, I was in a situation before where I didn't get that. So, you know, that resonates with me. So words of affirmation is my love language, my first one. So that's what it is.
All right. Time to pop a balloon. Oh, okay. Let's come this way. Why'd you end up popping your balloon?
So I was like, I really didn't want to pop. I think you're attractive and I love what you do. I think your career is great and like what you have going on. I'm very into men with purpose and who are high achieving. So I think that's awesome.
Y'all should see the woman next to her. Y'all should see she is cracking up saying this girl's a whole damn liar. Look, watch this. Hold on. Just pay attention to the woman on the right hand side. She is cracking up. The woman in this dress here. Watch her face.
Time to pop a balloon.
No, she
Oh,
chatting.
okay. Let's
She
come
said
this way.
yes.
Why Jenna popping your balloon?
So I was like, I really didn't want to pop. I think you're attractive and I love what you
Appreciate
do. I think your career is great and like what you have going on. I'm very into men with purpose and who are high achieving. So I think that that's awesome. And so I was just like, oh my gosh, I just don't have anything to pop on him. But I do feel like you're a little bit older. I mean, I'm open. That's why I was like, should I wait? Because I'm open to dating somebody a little bit older. But I'm used to dating people who are maybe like younger looking. And so that's kind of it. It's not a lot. You're awesome.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. I just want them. I want them to have a chance. I want you to have a chance at somebody. Yeah.
She is hella annoying because I'm on my new kick, but I'm just like, come on, lady. She's 33. This guy can't be what? He's like 40, 37. Like, what the hell? What do you want? You want somebody mature? You want this? You want somebody that has faith? She just be talking, yo. She just chats too much. All this over analyzing, and I want you to find somebody else and blah 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 blah. Oh my gosh, when she's not talking, she's just so much better. Even the women are tired of her. Both of the ladies, both of them actually. The one in the black and the white dress is looking down on her because she's tall. She's like, whew, this one's at it again. She's like, if I could just kick you with my size 12, you would get to flying in that Blade outfit.
Oh gosh. Oh, I'm freaking done.
Now that's self-sabotage.
Now she's someone that you're
talking about self-sabotaging. She needs the help for self-sabotaging.
Oh.
For sure. I usually go for women who are a little bit taller, but she's very beautiful. Yeah, so definitely my type.
Thank you. All right, our two ladies left. Any questions for him? You ready? Okay.
Where do you see yourself in the next 2 years?
In the next 2 years, getting a promotion with my company, and then also growing my bakery business. Yeah, so those are the two things that I see myself going in the next 2 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Now he's on a dating show
about
talking
over
about his career.
curious
That's
about
what
a
he sees in the next 2 years.
Hey, I'm gonna be promoted next 2 years. So yeah, so just think about it. And also going back to what the girl said with the Holy Trinity clothing, she actually said, I like to date people that look younger. That was what she was saying is that he looked old. Political. Sorry, I caught up with that shade delayed.
Life philosophy or motto and why that is for you, if you have one.
I won't necessarily say I have a life philosophy. One thing I always think about is, just striving for results and failing fast. If you have a short-term memory, you're able to like just move on to something else really, really quickly. And just having that mentality to where you just attack each and every day the same way.
All right, thank you. Yeah.
I don't know what's going through her mind, but something's going on in her mind because old girl at the back be cracking up. I don't know what's going on with her or what she's seeing, but something is going on with her because she be cracking up. I don't know what it is.
You're able to like, just move on to something else really, really quickly. And just having that mentality to where you just attack each and every day the same way.
All right, thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
What is she cracking up? What is she finding funny? I don't know. She's been cracking up at the bit. I don't know what's going on with her. She finds something funny there.
She might have the giggles.
Something going on.
All right, we're down to our final two. It is time to pop a balloon. Oh, you got another question?
We'll follow up to that. Where do you see yourself? So I was looking for a specific answer. Do you see yourself getting married, having kids? Like, what's the family goals of yours?
My family goals is interesting because I always thought I would have a family, kids by the time I was 25. Obviously, that didn't happen, right? We all have these ideals. But in the next 2 years, going towards that. Marriage in 2 years is fast. But if you find your partner and you all speak to each other and that happens, then that happens. never put a time limit on anything. But yeah, on that trajectory for sure.
Okay. I think I'm gonna have to pop.
Okay.
All right. And why gender popping?
Just because I want someone who is marriage minded and focused on building a family, and their time is, you just never know what can happen, but I want someone that has that on their forefront of their mind. So
okay, for sure.
Now she's someone that's your type?
For sure. Like I said, I usually talk to taller women. She's very beautiful, very attractive, great career. So yeah, definitely for sure.
Thanks. We do have our last lady over here. So just want to ask as well, is she someone that's your type?
She is. She is.
The way he said she is, he is excited, blood. He said, I've done caught a baddie. I'm glad that would go. She's pretty, but this one here, a baddie.
You see that smile? You see, you can see you can see all 32 of his teeth.
He is excited. Look, this brother said, listen, it is my type. That's right.
You got all 32 out. Come on over here. I'll have you stand on that side of me. No, you'll stand over here. Okay, y'all. Any final question between the two of you before we determine if we've got a match?
How would your friends describe you?
Funny, outgoing.
Hold on. She is absolutely stunning. I know we said it before, but she is stunning. Just wonderful to look at. My God. Pierre de Resistance. God was working overtime on this one.
Inspirational. I have a group of around like 50 fellas that we always motivate each other every single day.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot.
55 people.
Yeah,
closely.
Closely. Yeah, and we all push each other every day, whether it may be something physical along the lines of working out, or within.
That's when he should have just shut up.
We push each other every day. So yeah, that's what they would describe me as.
And you're good with questions? You have a last one? One last one, if you have one.
Do you have any children?
No.
No? Okay. I don't either. So.
Okay. Well,
why do you think you should shut up?
He talking about he got 50 friends that motivate each other every day. Negro. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell y'all say? How you got 50 friends that you speak to regularly? And she asked him, did you talk to every day? Like 50 close? He's like, yeah, 50 close friends. Like, bro, she almost popped.
we be inspiring. That's what he said. We be inspiring. We be inspiring. You got 50 close friends.
All right, let's bring out our next single guy. Hello, welcome in. What's your name?
My name is Alex.
Alex, how old are you?
I'm 42.
And what do you do?
I'm a professor of theater. I'm also an actor, and I have a podcast, a theater podcast called The Frogs, where we talk theater and we talk shit.
It's and the podcast. Like the podcast.
The podcast. Yeah.
You know
the podcast set the program down. They said, not a nigga with a mic. Cut it out. They said, cut it out.
On social media, they were like, can't we put tariffs on the podcast mics?
They said, yeah.
To do for fun.
I go to see plays, I go see movies, I hike, I'm also big on I'm big in history, politics, I read.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what do you look for in a woman?
I look for somebody who is compassionate, somebody who's smart. I like smart women, somebody who is sweet, good listener, and those type of things. Yeah.
Okay. What are some of your deal breakers?
Somebody who is not curious, and curious about people, not curious about, different like belief systems. Somebody who's not very kind.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we did get some pop balloons.
Yeah, we got a lot of
them. Let's go on over there, see why they ended up popping. We'll start here. Your name and age, please.
My name is Shahira. I'm ready.
Maybe, I keep thinking to myself, the pressure that the one person's got a balloon open must feel. Because, like, if he chooses you, is it like, did you choose me because you want to choose? Is it because I'm the only one left? Like, there must be, like, a lot that goes on in the person's head at that point.
The odds aren't in his favor. He could self-eliminate. He can just pop her balloon because chances are. If you got a symphony of pops, you ain't gonna make it.
35.
And Shahira, why'd you end up popping your balloon?
He's an attractive guy.
Thank
I'm
you.
just I don't love the vest. I feel like I'm not into actors in theater. I don't.
Do you know how many times I
which
hear
one?
that?
Which one is it, sis? Is it that you're not into actors and thingy, or is it the vest? Choose, please, because it sounds like you was getting confused. But I'll take your answer.
Don't like actors.
Well, let me. I will say. I mean, not you. You know, I totally appreciate. Appreciate and I respect what you're doing. I'm also an intellectual, though. I'm also a professor of theater, and I'm also like, I totally understand that because there's so much that comes along with actors, like this ego, this instability, right? But being a professor, that's something that grounds me from an intellectual point of view, from a financial point of view, like tenure track, all that other stuff. But yeah,
I love that. Good for you.
Thank you.
Now she's someone that's your type.
How's she gonna say, "I love that for you"?
That that's the universal. Thanks. Thanks,
Yeah.
but no thanks. You could have saved that whole soliloquy, my brother. That whole monologue you gave us. Keep it.
That's great.
Sounds real good.
Sounds good.
There's the thing on TikTok where the different expressions that Black women say that we love, and that has to be one of them. I love when they say that. I love that for you. I love that for you.
Oh, she said, "Listen, I hear that. Great way to sell yourself, but I'm still not buying it."
Thank you.
Your name and age.
Hi, I'm Janae Moore with 808 and Trinity. I'm 33.
And Janae, why'd you end up popping your balloon?
Oh, so her name is something Trinity.
I ended up popping my balloon because a little on the older side for me, and
Long in the tooth. That's what I say.
for me, I'm not calling you old. It's just a little on the older
Yeah,
side
yeah,
for me.
yeah.
It's fine. And yeah, I mean, kind of what she said with acting and all that. Like, it's cool. I'm glad that you're a professor. I appreciate your, you being smart. I like smart people, so
Really?
that's good. Yeah.
Now she's someone that's your type.
I ain't got no type, Bad bitties is the only thing I like.
And the cussing.
I think I said biddies though.
Did you?
I said biddies.
Let's rewind the tapes.
Let's rewind the tapes. Let's do it.
I don't even know what he said. Did he say biddies or bitches? I don't know what he said.
I think he said biddies, but he rattled it off so fast.
Type, Bad bitties is the only thing I like.
And the cussing.
I think I said biddies though.
Did you?
I said biddies.
Let's rewind the tapes.
Let's rewind the tapes. Let's do it.
Okay.
He's a little
You know
strange.
what? It's not working already, blood. Okay.
Yeah, he's
It's not
doing too
working
much
already.
though. He just needs to
Yeah.
take his foot off the gas.
Yeah, he just needs to get out of there.
Yeah. Back it up.
It's over.
Back it up, Buttercup. Now, with him, it's okay to let his insecurities reign. Pack it up. You have enough evidence to get on. Once sis said, "I love it for you," you ain't gonna make it, bro.
Oh, he said, "I think I said biddies." Okay. And I knew from that moment on there, they're gonna call him sassy in their heads. Okay. They start calling him sassy with it. They're gonna call him sassy with the vest. You know what I'm saying, Chu? How you gonna be sassy with that vest on? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, they're gonna get him.
Let's go over here. Your name and age.
Liz, 36.
All right. And Liz, why did you end up popping your balloon?
I just didn't feel that initial attraction. You're a handsome guy, but
I believe it.
All right. So I know you say you don't have a type, but if you saw her out, she's someone you would approach.
Yeah, I like the fit. I like the personality. Great smile.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Your name and age.
Nikki, 33.
All right. Nikki, why'd you end up popping your balloon?
Well, I will say you're very handsome and you're very well spoken. I like taller guys.
I just want to take a time out real quickly. Like, just take time out real quickly. Every single person said like very handsome, it's interesting. I mean, I think this is like a wonderful opportunity to learn like a lot about connection and attraction. And I do appreciate that. You know what I mean? I guess like it's surface level. The thing about this stuff is like you never ever really get to know somebody on a deeper level. But I do appreciate that though.
Thank you.
Not he tried to take time out for a PSA, bro.
Like, I know where he was going. It's just the execution wasn't executing. Like he's trying to say that he actually appreciates the fact that he gets to learn in this particular instance. But unfortunately, in the situation of what it is, it comes off as doing too much. It sounds like you're blithering. You know what I'm saying? You're kind of talking too much. You know what I mean? But I get what he was saying. He's saying like he's actually appreciating the opportunity to learn, even though he's not going his way. He loves the opportunity to learn, which I appreciate. So, I hear it, bro.
And now, how tall are you? Does she want someone a little bit taller?
I'm 6 feet.
6 feet. How tall are you?
5'8", but I always wear heels.
Okay.
I'm
Always
just,
wear
I'm just not I'm not a small girl, so I need a bigger man. That's all.
Oh, I'm not a small presence, though, baby.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can see that.
Now she's someone that you would approach.
Oh yeah, I love the confidence. I love the bigness. You know what I'm saying? The big, bright aura.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I can't lie to you. There's something sexy about her, though, you know. I don't know what it is. I've been looking at her. She's something
Me neither.
sexy about her.
But if you see it, but if you see it, I'm not gonna stand in your way, bro. Don't cancel me, y'all.
Oh, I thought she was a little bit sexy, but I don't know. It's something sexy about her. I don't know what it is, but
Beauty is truly in the eye of the beholder, bro. So
I don't know.
I won't stand in your way.
Thank you, sir. You know what I mean? But she gonna need something a little bit taller, but I think she can make an exception for me.
Thank you. Your name and age.
Anita, and I'm 37.
All right. Anita, why'd you end up popping your balloon?
He has a pretty big personality. It might be a little much of a clash for me.
Okay. So you like calmer? Is that...
I like outgoing. I just don't think I'm attracted. So for him, it's not really reading well with me.
Okay. Right. No, she's someone that's your type.
She's just a nice person. I mean, I probably initially wouldn't, if I saw the person, I probably wouldn't initially approach her. But you know, I'm big on personality, spirit, and energy.
Same.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Your name and age.
My name is Natalie. I'm 38 years old.
And Natalie, why'd you end up popping your balloon?
Upon coming out, I think, of course, we only have physicality to see. So you're cool, looks good, fine, whatever. But I also believe that we got the same instructions. I would only think we got the same instructions for Dress to Impress or a date night. And I feel that if we were to go out, that we would not be going to the same place. So it's just not my thing.
Your vibe.
Yeah. But I mean, do you, of course.
That's all I can do.
Of course.
Damn. The ladies are bringing out all the bars right now. Oh, but don't worry, do you? You know what I mean? Like, that's so sad to hear the brother go through that, bro. You know, he got the Shaka Zulu vest on and they want to take him out. They're not respecting the African art where, you know what I'm saying? True, the brother's got a little something to him.
He was trying to go for the Mufasa vibe, you know?
So where would
Yeah, he went for a little.
He was gonna, he thought he was gonna be Aaron Pierre up and through there, but
not Aaron Pierre.
Not so much.
Not the Aaron Pierre, blood. That's Mufasa.
Would you typically wear this out like for dinner or anything like that?
I mean, I'll probably wear this out for, like a casual. What I like to do, I guess I could just go ahead and talk the type of date I would go. Like a museum is probably where I would first start at, and then go to like a rooftop. And then after that, probably go out dancing, And this, as being Nigerian American, right, I'm always looking for a way to like bring in where I'm from and my culture, right? Because I do think that we have an idea about what is supposed to be, I guess, like high culture, if you would, And, I like to kind of bring a little bit of myself.
Okay.
Now
she's someone that's your type.
Not as much. I do feel a little bit of judgment, so probably not.
That's what you feel. I mean, what can I say to that?
No, you don't have to.
All right.
All right, thank you. Let's go over here. Your name and age.
Sophia, 36.
And Sophia, why did you end up popping your balloon?
Initial attraction. I didn't see that we would connect. Yeah.
Okay. Now she's someone that's your type.
Probably similar. Like it's she seems like a nice lady, but I probably wouldn't approach her.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's head on back. We do still have an unpopped balloon. Your name and age.
I'm Jessica and I'm 36.
All right. So Jessica, we see you're still holding on to your balloon. Why so?
We are in similar career fields. I'm an artistic director for a dance company.
Oh, snap.
So I definitely relate to what you practice for work.
Right.
I have similar interests. I love reading. I enjoy going to museums. Some of the same similarities. So.
Right. Do you guys have any questions for one another?
Sure. Oh, you want to go first? Go
I
ahead.
do.
Yeah.
What is your faith?
My faith?
Yes.
Okay. So I grew up Christian. I grew up Roman Catholic, right? And I continue. I like to say that, like, I continue to go to church. Like, those metaphors work for me a lot. The teachings of Jesus. Grace is probably one of the most like pivotal things that I think that I really, really take from that. The idea of like having grace with oneself, and having grace with other people. I'm also very, very curious about other religions, other belief systems. Like, I'm constantly exploring, whether it be like Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism. I'm just like curious about those things.
Okay. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to pop.
Cool.
Why'd you end up popping?
I am a firm believer in Jesus Christ, and I prefer to date someone who is firm in their beliefs and shares that commonality.
Yeah.
All right. Is she someone that you would go for?
I really appreciate it, especially.
She said, listen, I'm standing strong in my faith. Okay. All right. I'm standing strong in my faith, she said. All right. That hogwash you're talking, don't work with me.
I like Jessica. Yeah, I like her.
You think she's pretty?
She's my type, pretty much. Yeah, you know, she is.
I love that for you. I really do.
In a genuine way?
No, I genuinely do love it for you. I don't see it. I don't see any attraction there at all. I'm surprised, actually. Someone said Gossip Mike said that's his favorite too. Yeah, okay.
I also appreciated that you said that you like to read. That was great. I was going to ask you what the last book you read was. What was the last book you read? Just curiosity.
Sure. Well, I'm currently reading a book by Eric Butterworth, Discover the Power Within You.
Right.
So,
self-help, self-betterment.
Yeah, it ties in my beliefs, so my faith, and then just how to harness that power from within and exude it out. So yeah. What was the last book? Well, I guess
you popped on me, girl. It don't matter anymore. Thank you.
All
right. Well, that's all the balloons. But thank you so much for coming on.
She said, "Listen, it's all well and dandy. I love the fact that you guys are talking, but we got a show to do. Yeah, wrap it up and get the frick out of here."
She has popped her balloons.
Yeah,
and he's still talking.
Asking questions. So ask questions and get them moving. You know what I mean? Keep it moving. Okay.
Let's give it up for him, ladies. I'll take
Thank y'all.
Thank you. All right. Someone that's your type.
Yeah, I think so.
All righty. So we did get pop balloons. Let's go on over there, see why they ended up popping.
Okay.
All right. We'll start here with your name and age.
Hi, my name is Shahir. I'm 35.
Great. And why did you end up popping your balloon?
You're very handsome, very well put together. Love your outfit. You just remind me, you look like my dad. So I'm gonna have to pass on that.
Okay, it's all good.
Good luck to
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Is she someone that's your type?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Thank you. Your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
Hi, I'm Janaea Moore with 808 and Trinity. I'm 33. And I ended up popping my balloon because age difference, just a little bit older, but like you're actually like my type.
Okay.
So but you're just a little
cool.
older.
Yeah.
All right. Now she's someone that's your type.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What makes her your type? Just talking a little bit.
I mean, I like her style, I like her look, and I like that the age range is great. I mean, 30s is good. 10-year difference is great these days. With maturity and energy. So
15 years, but yeah.
Right,
I'm a math person.
That
so
sounds good. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Let's go here. Your name and
not her corrected him. She said, "Listen, you miscalculated. 10 ain't it's 15, and I really ain't feeling that." Fair play to her. 15 years
Don't even get close to thinking about it.
Yeah, she said, "Listen, pop. I popped earlier on. I'm definitely gonna pop again.
I'm a math person.
I'm gonna pop again. Yeah."
in age.
My name is Liz. I'm 36.
Liz, why did you end up popping your balloon?
You're gonna hate this, but you remind me of my dad too. In the best way. In the best way.
Okay.
Like, you're an attractive guy. I just was like,
okay.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
What about him reminds?
Just your energy. You seem very like lively, and you're a little bit older than me. I'm only 36. But yeah, you just remind me of my dad. Like the smile, like everything.
It's all good. All right.
No, she's someone that's.
Now, sis, she asked you a direct question. What reminds you of your dad? And you didn't answer it until the end, actually. But what was it that reminds you of your dad? She did not answer it.
Yeah, I think where he messed up, though, some constructive criticism. If you're like in your mid to late 40s and you go on this show and you want younger women, he shouldn't wear a suit. I think he shouldn't have worn a suit because he looks like he's going to an interview. Then he tried to wear a suit with a tank top. Now he's looking like Eric Benet up there. So I think he need to just fix it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because if you just saw him off rip, you wouldn't think that. But I think the whole aesthetic.
Yeah, it gives him that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's your type.
Yeah, I would say so. She has a nice smile, good, good attitude, good energy. So yeah, say so. Yep.
Your name and age.
Nikki, 33.
Nikki, why'd you end up popping your balloon?
I might want to unpop it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Do you want the balloon back?
Do you want me to take it back?
It's up to you.
I do, kind of.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Let's get another balloon for Nikki.
Yes, Nikki. I think it's
All
a
right.
blonde to have more fun kind of look, but she's looking gorgeous. I don't know what it is. There's something sexy about her. Come on, Nikki, now.
We'll be back then. Let's go on over here. Your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
My name is Natalie. I'm 38 years old. I popped the balloon. I'm thinking long term, like marriage, grandkids, all that stuff. I just don't see us standing side by side in family pictures.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
No, she's someone that's your type.
No, not really.
Then why not?
Beautiful woman, wonderful lady. Just not feeling the energy, but
Yeah.
you're a great person.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's head on back. So we've got 4 balloons left unpopped.
All right.
All right. So go ahead and ask our ladies a question.
So what kind of things you like to do for fun?
Okay. Name and age, and what do you like to do for fun?
I'm Jessica. I'm 36, and I enjoy traveling. I'm fortunate to have a wonderful job.
Okay.
So I actually have fun teaching the girls that I work with. I'm an
Okay.
artistic director for a dance studio.
Okay.
So anything artistic, I love. I also love God.
Okay.
So I
good,
love serving
good,
in different ways.
Good. All right.
Over here, your name and age, and what do you like to do for fun?
Nikki, 33. I actually love the movies as well.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite things to do. And I like to make things. I own a balloon delivery service.
Okay.
So I'm super creative. I'm always trying to make something I've seen. Saw. And I love to cook.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
All right.
Let's go on over here. Name and age, and answer to his question.
I'm Anita. I'm 37.
Okay.
And so outside of just work, I like to DJ. I just started DJing in 2023. My father passed, and in honor of him, I started DJing last year because he was a DJ. And I'm a creative entrepreneur. So like anything that has to do with bringing culture together, Afro-Caribbean culture, making things fun outside of the club and what the generation is so used to doing, I try to do. So brunches, balls, fashion shows, anything outside of, even though,
Okay.
I like to have fun.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
And over here, your name and age, and what do you like to do for fun?
Sophia, 36. I love hot yoga. I'm also a DJ, a designer, and a music publisher. So very creative. I like to make dresses, bodysuits, and I'm Ghanaian. So I love pushing the African culture and being a first generation Ghanaian American. Yeah.
Okay, Sapphire's gone in. I still don't want to.
You better go collect your queen.
Sorry. Listen, see, some of y'all were going to say it's some kind of prejudice, but I'm sorry, but I don't see the attraction there. She's Ghanaian, but I don't see the attraction. I'm sorry. It's a no for me. Pop! I'm sorry, but she, you know what? She's cool.
Yeah, just representing. So that's what I love to do.
All right, so let's head on back. I'm now going to hand you a pick. There you go. And I'm going to have you pop 1 balloon.
Just one?
Oh, you want to pop more?
I
mean, you can pop more if you want.
Okay.
He definitely wants to put more than 1 balloon.
So,
That guy
okay.
said pop 1.
I'm sorry, sweetie.
Okay, so why
Right.
was your balloon unpopped?
Very nice gentleman. Seemed very kind, and I think he has an athletic structure. So, yeah.
Okay, and why'd you end up popping hers?
First of all, wonderful woman. Didn't really want to pop it, but just not my style though. But thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's a very classy
All
response. I can't
right,
lie
we've
to
got
you.
our 3 ladies left. Go ahead and ask them another question.
What's your ideal first date?
Ideal first date. We'll start there and come back. What is your ideal first date?
My ideal first date is anything that we could do where we can get to know each other for real, intentionally. Like not the movies or we can go eat. I love to eat, but I want to be able to talk to you, have fun with you, and see you in different that. So maybe bowling, talk off, something like that.
Okay.
And what about over here?
I love an interactive date, but for the first date, I like good food. So nice restaurant. I like to dress up. So something a little fancy, maybe. That's what I'm into.
And over here, what's your ideal first date?
Nikki.
Of course, you can't go wrong with a dinner date. But I enjoy planning different activities. One of my favorite things to do is plan scavenger hunt. So maybe a small scavenger hunt before we sit down to eat, because it'll show your personality and how you accept challenges.
Okay. Like that.
Right, that's
All
different.
right.
Okay, let me have you pop 1 more balloon.
Sure.
Oh, crap. Sorry.
But if she has children, I would love.
I apologize. Sorry, my
And I'll just try to incorporate.
Okay, she was ready. I'll come back.
What's your faith and how do you actually practice?
Oh, okay. Protestant Christian. I attend church regularly, and I'm very involved in church as much as I can. And I just try to incorporate biblical values into my personal life as much as possible. So
Okay, awesome.
yeah.
I can ask another one. Do you have any kids?
I have 2 kids, 16 and 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any kids?
No, I don't yet. Do you want kids or more kids?
So I'm past the age to have more, but if she has children, I would love to entertain that. So yeah.
I like everything about you, but I really do want to bring it.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're very handsome.
I'm so sorry. I'm too old for kids. I'm sorry. It's all good. It's all good.
All right,
Yeah.
so
Well, at least he was honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like they didn't match the people rightly. Because why would they put him in front of all these women in their 30s that don't have kids, that want kids?
I agree with you on that one. It's a deep match. Yeah.
You had it on for so long. Like, well, what was making you hang on to it?
I wanted to make sure that he was about God. I was looking at the jury, making sure it wasn't like anything. So,
I'm definitely
but I
there.
do want to
I'm
bring
so
children
sorry.
into this
I'm
world.
so sorry. You'll have great kids though.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You're
thank
so
you.
handsome.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate
Now,
it.
she's someone that's
Yeah.
your type?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes, definitely. So yeah.
Okay. Let's go back over here. Why'd you end up popping?
I popped because you mentioned that you don't want kids, and I definitely want
more kids.
Yes, more kids. Yeah. I love children. So if any lady has them, I would be a great stepdad. But I just think I'm too old to have more. So I'm sorry. Yeah.
I respect that.
I understand.
It's very respectful. I love
Now,
that.
she's someone that's your type?
I'm on home.
Yeah.
I want kids, Jessica.
So diabolical you are. The thing hasn't even gone cold yet, blood. The body ain't even cold yet.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the balloons popped,
All right,
unfortunately.
thank you.
But
Thank
thank
you
you.
And that's
Sorry.
our
Okay.
dude. So
All right, we'll let you have it.
Nah,
And
this
what do
guy,
you do?
they did dirty.
I work in the mental health field.
And can we have your name?
My name is Paul.
Paul, how old are you?
I am 41 years old, young.
All right. And what do you do?
I'm an attorney, and I actually am an executive for a theater company that does a little bit of motivational storytelling for different types of issues, for bringing hope to young people, kind of health issues, change, that kind of thing. But
why does he look so titchy and tiny? It's a camera
He's
angle.
he's a shorter guy. No, he's a shorter guy.
He is short, but it's making him look like a leprechaun. And it's
Well,
just
you know the cameraman. The cameraman is between the cameraman and Arlette. The two of them have the perfect shadiness in them.
He looks so titchy.
my number one thing that I do, I'm an ambassador for the Short Kings Revolution movement, where the old school folks came from the old chocolate revolution, where chocolate was.
He's a nice guy, though. This
Light-skinned brothers
guy's
was forced to fight.
personality.
But we came back up, and now we're here. So I wanted to be able to get to a point where those 6'2" brothers, put them aside. Give me that 5'1" guy back there. But yeah, just like to have fun, be able to do things in my spare time.
Nice. Okay. And now you said 5'1", so you're 5'1"?
I'm actually 5'7".
Okay.
If I wear the right shoes, maybe I get up to like around 5'8". That's somewhere around there. But hey, look, once you go short, you'll never abort. Okay. I made that up myself.
All right. Now, what do you like to do for fun?
Listen, ladies, you lot are missing out on an amazing guy here. Listen, this guy's got a bag of personality and jokes. You're going to be laughing and crackling.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying, Chu? This
The
is a guy with
confidence.
bags of personality. Exactly. Bags of personality. He seems like he can communicate. He seems smart as well. Ladies, start giving some of these men,
And look at my girl Jessica. She's so nice. Such a nurturing. She still got her balloon unpopped.
You know what I'm saying? He needs someone. Someone said he could come up to my breast.
He's 5'6", guys. The average woman is 5'4", 5'2" to 5'4", somewhere in that
Exactly.
range. Stop
You know
it.
what I'm saying, Chi? That's what I'm saying.
I am a big believer in the Lord Jesus Christ, and he has allowed me to get wherever I've gotten in my life, and it's been an absolute blessing. And so I volunteer at my church, True Zion Gospel Temple. That's a main church. If you need a home church, that's the place to go. It's absolutely amazing. I volunteer. I do a little bit of extracurricular stuff there. I love to be outdoors, indoors. I do a little bit of everything. I also play music, and so I play the piano. I play a little bit of bass guitar. So would love to play some music for somebody out here. But I'm pretty relaxed, pretty chill kind of person.
Okay. And what do you look for in a woman?
I look for someone who is honest, someone who communicates well, someone's faithful, someone loyal, someone warm, someone that loves the Lord, obviously, as well, and then someone that is very nurturing.
Okay, and deal breakers?
I must say he's a very clear and concise communicator. Listening to his answers, he's very like like it's not. He's not ever having to go, think for a very long time. He says his thoughts. He's very you can tell he's probably someone who's very intellectual.
He's an attorney too. I don't know if you missed that, but that's
Oh.
one of his professions. Yeah.
Okay, because he's very concise and clear the way he articulates himself. I can't lie to you.
Deal breaker is probably the opposite of all that stuff. So being able to see someone that's not that faithful, or someone that's not as nurturing, someone that's not as warm.
Right.
But I'm pretty open. But as long as they have that core of the Lord, we can work with anything.
Okay, so we did get some pop balloons. Let's go on over there, see why they ended up popping. Your
Damn.
name and age.
Your girl said, "Listen, I've been nice. I've been holding it niceness in, but
She didn't even give him one question.
she said, no, I don't want to give him the hope."
Age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
Hello, I'm Shahira. I'm 35. I popped my balloon because I think you're just a little too short. Like, I don't mind dating somebody who's a little shorter. But I haven't had that many good experiences with short guys, so I'm just gonna. But you seem very nice, very funny. I love the blue and the butter combo. Navy, you seem like you got style. So that means a lot.
No, I appreciate you. God bless you.
And now she's someone that's your type.
So for me, I've given up the type thing because of the fact that some of the stories that I've heard of like really long lasting, beautiful relationships have been people like, I wasn't attracted to them. I didn't like them. And next thing you know, something beautiful happened and came. So I've given up the type. I don't want everyone that looks like my exes anymore, because if I've done the same thing and didn't get the results I was looking for, I got to change it up a little bit. So
yes, I agree.
Girl, you got to go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Let's go on over here. Your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
I'm Janae Moore. I'm 33, and I popped my balloon just because I just didn't have that initial attraction. If I'm gonna, I'm dating to marry, and if I'm going to marry someone, I have to want to be with him and only him for the rest of my life. So there's that. And I did go short and I did abort, and I'm not gonna go back. So there's that.
Okay. Yes. Now she's someone that you approach.
She is absolutely gorgeous. I've got the confidence to approach whoever, and so I would approach, and I'm not afraid of rejection. And because I obviously can't leave here with each and every one of you. So, but you're absolutely gorgeous. Again, someone that loves church, someone that loves the Lord Jesus. Shout out.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
yes.
you would be absolutely. We would be going to church and praying together.
We can still go to church and pray.
Come on now.
I'm trying going tomorrow.
Come on now. I'm from New York, so
I'm a fine one out here.
There you go.
Thank you. Your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
I am Jessica, and I'm 36. I think your personality is infectious. You had all of us laughing and smiling. And I also love what you do. You seem really enthusiastic about what you do.
Yes.
Thank God I have at least a decent amount of
if we saw each other out, I don't think things would go past us just getting to know each other on a surface level.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Nah, we have to talk about this. You see, y'all been talking about. You see, we talked earlier on about colorism, but this shortism stuff that's going on, is a plague. It's been going on for heightism. It's been going on for years. Okay, this brother can't even get past the first round of balloon pops simply because of his height. There needs to be a commission.
It's rough out here.
It's very rough to be in that height. You know what I mean? You just have to thank the Lord that you're not that height, because you may not have survived. You know what I'm saying to you? So, I appreciate him. You know what I mean?
No, I the same thing, because for me, I don't really go by initial attraction. I totally took that playbook and ripped it up, recognizing to be able to, I know this is speed dating, and so being able to say, oh man, short kings, not yet, but being able to see, I could feel your spirit. You have such a beautiful spirit, such a wonderful energy, and that kind of thing is what I kind of move towards now, somebody's energy.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, pleasure.
Your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
My name is Liz, and I'm 36. Hi. I just didn't have that initial attraction there. You have a wonderful personality, very funny, great personality. I just didn't feel that initial attraction when you came out.
Totally respect it.
Okay. What about for her?
Everyone has this wonderful energy. I'm a deep spiritual person. I feel like prophesying over everybody over here. It's just like God's going to do some amazing things for you, and it's like being able to feel that deepness and that depth. For me, it's like really important. So if I'm not allowing the ooze to come out, that's okay. But my prayer is that you find someone really beautiful. And I would absolutely approach her, and even if she was like, nah, I'm not part of the revolution yet, that's okay too. But I would absolutely, I would approach everyone. So that's the shortcut here.
Okay.
I
You beat me to the punch. Thank you. Your name and age and what agenda popping your balloon.
Nikki 33. So I'm not going to say what I didn't like about him. It's I think that I'm just a little bit too much woman for you.
Oh.
Huh?
I'm just
in what ways?
Size.
Okay.
Why do you just say that? I'm too much woman for you is crazy work. Is crazy. Nikki, I said you're sexy, but listen, sometimes when people open their mouth, they take themselves down a couple pegs. I don't like that stuff. I don't like that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that turns me right off. Arrogance is something that really turns me off. I can't lie to you. But I don't understand that. Like, just say that you just feel like it's a height thing. I'm too much woman for you is crazy work. What's your thoughts, Sean? Sorry.
Hey, maybe she felt like, when the rubber meets the road, the bishop can't, get where it needs to go. Sometimes people have a hard time envisioning how it's all going to come together. And Nikki looked like she where that action at, so she want to make sure
she said, "I'm gonna wear his ass out."
He can get to what he need to get to when the time is right.
Oh my gosh, she was bad.
I'm just.
My grandmother always told me that a little axe can cut down a big tree, and so
No, I love your confidence. So
yeah. No, I appreciate your honesty. I feel like being able to feel that energy, feel that connection is great. I would definitely approach you again, recognizing again, I've only dated shorter women before, but I recognize that I got to rip that up as well. Yeah. And so we could have taken it slow to be able to get me to be able to handle it, but it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I definitely pray God bless
you. That don't sound
okay,
like
your name and age and my agenda popping your balloon.
He said, we're gonna take it slow so I can handle it.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Like, you can talk me through it. He said, you can talk me through it, Nikki.
Exactly. I'm a fast learner. Okay. Oh man, I'm telling you, he's killing me.
My name is Natalie. I'm 38 years old. I am an ally to the short revolution, but I'm not necessarily in it.
Yeah, that's okay. There you go. There you go. There you go.
And I am also trying to give up the whole idea of having a type as well. But I do believe, I'm a strong believer that it does start with initial attraction. When people say like, oh, I just fell out the window, I don't believe that, because you gotta like what you see. I do think you're a great person, and I thank you for the prayers that you've given and everything like that. But I just don't see us going long term.
Yeah, no, I definitely respect that. Part of it is being able for me to really push the conversation of where kind of dating has kind of gotten a little bit. So I'm always going to challenge folks to be able to say, if I've done something before and it didn't quite work, what's a different way that I
definitely
can
understand
do it?
that, and I agree with that. I'm trying to also change that notion as well.
Yeah,
clearly, what I liked before didn't work, or I would not be here.
Yeah.
But I definitely, I do understand. But thank you.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
Your name and age and why agenda popping your balloon.
Sophia, 36.
Hi, Sophia.
Hi. Just initial attraction. I love your cross.
Lord Jesus, True Zion Best Church.
Yeah, just initial attraction.
He is really bigging up his church, boy.
I prefer
he want to keep them doors closed like Marvin Sapp.
Tithes and offerings.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, Short King's Revolution. Once you go short, you may have aborted one time. I think she aborted, but it won't happen too much. But you're amazing. Again, you all have wonderful spirits, beautiful energy. Again, I'm praying that you guys really find that wonderful person for you, because you all deserve love. You all deserve that companion that makes you feel strong and empowers you to do what God brought you on this earth to do.
Yeah.
Giving them words of affirmation.
Well, Paul, that is all the balloons
me,
popped.
he
Unfortunately,
can get
thank
it.
you so much for coming on. I'll take that. Let's give it up for him, ladies.
If there's one thing Arlette's gonna do is get her mic back.
Oh baby, yep. Like,
You're
don't
not
you
gonna
think
get
about
two.
leaving.
You're not gonna get a foot. I'll take my mic back.
Bring that right back here, boy. Not too fast.
Take it easy. Yeah. Give me my mic.
Seeing the country and different countries as well. So.
Okay. What do you look for in a woman?
Well, first I got to be physically attracted to her, of course. Somebody who's confident, has some type of fashion sense, ambitious, and just knows how to have fun.
Okay, and deal breakers?
Lazy, just always negative, mean, rude, and just somebody that's not pleasant to be around.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So we did get some
So you're not pleasant to be around. That's what you're saying. It's basically saying these two ladies.
pop balloons. Let's go on over there, see why they ended up popping.
Okay.
Your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
Hello, my name is Shahir. I'm 35, and I just popped because I think you're just a little too short for me, and just seem older, like really old soul, kind of. So that's pretty much it for me.
All right. And now, how tall are you?
5'10".
5'10", 5'10", okay. Now, she's someone that's your type?
She is, but she's too tall for me. I wouldn't.
Okay. Well, I guess it's a good thing she popped then, right?
Works out
sure.
perfect. 'Cause I'm
Yeah.
actually 5'10" without the heels, but I
Right.
don't know.
Baby, you are 5'10". You are big. No, sorry, you're tall. You are very tall. Like 5'10" is like beyond most average women. So yes, darling, you are tall. Saying 5'10" like it's normal. It's not for the ladies, unfortunately. If you was a man, you'd be like average height. But for the ladies, 5'10" is very tall. And then she's got heels on, so she's 6'1", at least. Someone said a woman of length is crazy work. That is a bar. A woman of length is crazy work. A woman of the length. Crazy work. I love that.
So yeah, it works out.
That's all good.
Thank you. Let's go here. Your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
I'm Janaea Moore. I'm 33, and I pop my balloon just because you're not really my physical type. I was like, I have a thing with noses, and I like a guy with kind of like a thin like bridge. I know that's like so extra, but I do. I just have this like attraction to like this like thin bridge. Yeah, I like noses. Yes.
No, she's someone.
Nah, someone gonna
Now
call
the
out futurism or
featurism.
what?
She got
That
called
song
out
is-
online for this. The featurism. Yeah, she got called out online for this. See, this is when I need her to
Just kept
to
her mouth
mute
shut.
herself.
She should have just kept her mouth shut. She should have kept her mouth shut and said, "I don't." You know, sometimes you just get yourself in more trouble than anything. Just
Watch, it gets
you know what I
better.
mean?
It gets better with her and him. Watch.
And that's your type.
And she's pretty. I mean, I don't know if I would approach her, but she's good looking.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
I should.
You shouldn't.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let's move on. Your name and age, and
Yo, that is crazy. What the hell?
Yeah, that's when she got nasty as hell.
What was that about? Why did the flip happen? It just doesn't even make sense.
Because she's not a nice person. She's not a nice person. She's been giving little snarky digs all the way through, and she just decided to just get a little nastier with him.
That is crazy work. That just came out of nowhere. Like, you know what I mean? That was rude.
and why did you end up popping your balloon?
I'm Jessica. I'm 36. I think that you are attractive. I'm just not attracted to you.
That's
But I love that you're ambitious and you really seem motivated.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No, she's someone that's your type.
She's attractive. Like I said, I don't know if I would if I would approach her outside or something like that. But I'm sorry. I don't know if I would approach her outside or anything like that, but she is attractive.
Thank you. All right, we've got 4 ladies left. Go ahead and ask them a question.
Well, what are they looking for in a man?
What are they looking for in a man? Okay. Let's start here. Name and age, and what are you looking for in a man?
My name is Liz. I'm 36.
Mhm.
I'm looking for a man that believes in God, someone who wants to be a protector, provider, someone who's kind, caring, honest, fun. I love to laugh, have fun. All the basic things I feel like everybody's looking for in a man. Yeah. Okay. Just keep it there.
Your name and age, and what do you look for in a man?
Nikki, 33, confident, hardworking, smart, funny, kind. All those great things.
Yes.
Supportive.
That's a good one. Okay. Your name and age, and what are you looking for in a man?
Hi, I'm Natalie. I'm 38 years old. Simply, I'm looking for a man that wants to be with me. I'm looking for someone that's loyal, that's faithful. It sounds like a dog, but it's just like I want someone that wants to be there and wants to be in the relationship. Yeah.
Your name and age, and what are you looking for in a man?
My name is Sophia. I'm 36, and someone who's loyal, God-fearing, a great communicator, support, just a great person and a good personality. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, right here. I was looking back.
Why?
So why did you end up popping your balloon?
I just popped because I'm just not feeling the energy. I'm getting kind of like a nonchalant vibe, like lackadaisical. So
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just not feeling the connection really.
I see. Okay. Now she's spot on. Are you nonchalant or?
I'm chill. I'm chill. I don't really get too high or too low on anything.
Okay. She's someone that's your type?
She's good looking. Like I don't know if I would approach her out in public or anything like that, but she's okay.
So what would make you not want?
He definitely is nonchalant. Frick heck. I wanted to defend him, but bloody hell, he really is nonchalant. But he's, I wouldn't say emotionally more chill. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to do too much, but he definitely chill. You know what I mean?
No, he's an. You know why I picked up? He's nonchalant too, because he was every time they asked him, "Is she your type?" Nah, I wouldn't approach her. I wouldn't approach her. I wouldn't approach her.
Yeah.
He is. You know, not that there's necessarily anything wrong, but I don't. Yeah, I think I don't think he's super impressed by any of those women there. To be honest.
I don't think any. I think basically he was saying like none of these women are my type. Can't lie to you. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure. It's just not my type. You know what I mean? Like she looks cute. She's cute, but it's just like she's a cute girl. I wouldn't want to talk to her. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Well, let's just stay here. We got 3 ladies left. Go ahead and ask them another question.
What's the best and the worst thing about dating you?
Okay. So what's the best and worst thing about dating you? Let's start here.
The best thing is I'm super supportive, smart, and I can hold somebody down. The worst thing is I can't think of anything. Just a little clingy maybe sometimes.
Nikki.
Thank you. The best and worst thing about dating you.
The best
That's
thing
your
about
type,
dating
though,
me
Joe.
is,
You love a clingy one.
No. She gonna have me shutting down like old boy from before. She gonna have me asking for space. Not a clingy one. No. Sounds like a stage 4 clinger too.
Supportive. I would say the worst thing about dating me, and I've heard it across the board, is that I choose not to cook, and I do know that a lot of men I've ran into that do hate that, but I don't cook daily.
So you eat out every day?
I get by.
Okay. All right, so do it. Okay, what about over here? The best and worst thing about dating you?
The best thing is I'm down for almost anything. I'm pretty athletic. I love to travel. I love hot yoga.
Damn.
The worst thing about me, I don't even know. I guess when I'm serious about you, I'm serious. I don't play games, so
Not they popping while she's
not
talking.
communicating very efficient with me.
Yeah,
I just
what are you
tend
doing that
to
for?
disconnect. So yeah.
What's he done to get the pop of the balloons?
I just wasn't feeling a connection. I know it's like really like the other guy said, it's like speed dating, but even just like you don't really seem to want to be here. It's kind of an odd feeling. Like you just, like she said, like you're very nonchalant, and it's like, yeah, okay, I get you. I don't, whatever. And so it's kind of just like I don't feel any kind of energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now she's someone that's your type?
No.
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 And why not?
I mean, I'm just not physically attracted.
Thank you. And you did end up popping over here as well. Why?
I'm just a happy person. I like to laugh and smile a lot, and you have not smiled at any of us once. That's all. But other than that, I like all your other qualities. I like that you have a job, and then you have all your vending machines, and all that. You're definitely my type. I just want to smile a little bit.
Now she's someone that's your type.
I wouldn't approach.
Okay.
No.
And why not?
God damn.
What is your type? Because none of us seem to be your type so far.
I mean, she was probably the closest one to my type. To
Okay.
And
I see.
I'm not. I mean, I'm really not really physically attracted to most of them out here right now. That's all.
Bomba clot.
He wanted Church Baddie, but Church Baddie wasn't having it, and then she was nasty.
And to be honest, he played it off nicely. I can't lie, He played it off nicely. Like he didn't actually react and cause any issues because she was definitely rude and disrespectful. But you know what? Fair play to the guy. You know what I'm saying? Listen, he had a type. He came out and brother said, listen, none of these chicks are really my type. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not really feeling any of these girls. You know what I'm saying, Chu?
I mean, I'm not no disrespect.
No.
I'm just being honest.
Of course. Yeah. Teach his own.
Yeah, definitely. She ended up popping over here. So why'd you end up popping? I mean, I think I know, but
Yeah, you pointed back there, so
yeah,
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's head on back. All right. Well, that is all the balloons popped. Thank you so much for coming on. I'll take the mic.
problem.
So give it up for him, ladies.
He said the line on the roster looking poor.
All right. Let's bring out our next single guy. Hello. Welcome in. Can we have your name?
My name is Darnell.
And Darnell, how old are you?
I'm 47 years of age.
47. And what do you do?
I am an entrepreneur. I'm a stand-up comedian, actor, entertainer, and podcaster.
Okay. What do you like to do for fun?
I actually enjoy spending time with my friends, family. I like to draw. I like to laugh. I'm a foodie. I love to eat. I like to travel as well, and I like to just learn new things.
Okay. What do you look for in a woman?
I look for, at the end of the day, a virtuous woman. If I have to tell you what that means, then I just know you're not for me.
Okay. And deal breakers?
Deal breakers, being dismissive, not being open-minded, and a woman that doesn't have God in her life in any type of way.
Okay. All right. So we did get pop balloons. Let's go on over there, see why they ended up popping. Okay. Your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
Hi, I'm Shahir, 35, and I just popped because I think you're just a little too small for me, and I think a little too old, but that's it.
Respectful. That's
But
respect.
you're a handsome guy.
Now, is she someone that's your type?
Yeah, she is. She's a beautiful lady. Like that.
You said it got just younger. You said
How
it.
you just gonna?
You said it. No,
You
you
just a
said
little
it.
small and a little old. But other than that, it's like what? What's left? What's left? Wait a minute. How are we just gonna breeze past that? That is nasty work. No, you're just a little small and a little old. But other than that, what else is left? My essence? What else is left? Oh my God, I would run off the stage. Let me out.
Oh, frick me, blood.
The outfit, put it on. Yeah, I just didn't get to know her, but yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Not an
Your
R
name
as
and
well,
age, and
you
why did you
know.
end up popping your balloon?
I am Janae Moore. I'm 33, and I popped the balloon because, yeah, a little bit too old for me. I mean, what she said. I did know what she said, and it's like you're older and you have this like young guy swag, which is fine. It's fine, but it's like, yeah, leave it at that.
Okay.
Respect that. Yeah.
She's someone that's your type?
Yeah, she's beautiful. I just came in something comfortable. I'm probably gonna get that. I don't know a lot of 47. I don't know what a lot of people mentality think 47 look like now, but it's different, you know. It's not coming in the Easter outfit, you know what I'm saying, with keys out jingling. But I just put on what I feel comfortable with for the day. But I can put it on casual as well. I'm very versatile, but I just came comfortable today.
Okay. Thank you. Your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
I am Jessica. I'm 36, and I think you look pretty good put together. I actually don't hate the outfit. I love the scarf.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You definitely look like a creative. I love that you're ambitious with all of the things that you do. I just don't find you attractive.
Respect.
Okay. And now, is she someone that you find attractive?
No, I didn't feel the mutual chemistry either, you know. Beautiful woman, she put together well. I just not my type. Yeah, I just didn't have a spark or anything. Like,
Your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
My name is Liz. I'm 36. You're just a little too old for me, just on the older side. But like she said, we'll put together. You're handsome. Yeah, just a little too old for me.
What about for her? She's someone that's your type?
respectfully, she's a beautiful woman. Just I didn't have a spark or any like wow, you know, the same thing. So it was mutual.
Thank you. Thank you. Your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
Nikki, 33. Just your height, that's all. You have a great smile. I like that you're an entrepreneur, but just a little for me. I'm sorry.
Did we
Somebody
ask your height?
said I'm doing woman enough.
I am the 5'5" Idris, man. I swear, bro. I get it. The height, man. The height is a killer. I get it all the time.
No,
But
you have a great smile.
Appreciate
It's
it.
you just a little.
Appreciate
I want to be picked up.
never.
Who said he can't pick you up, baby? You should have even let him test it now. See if he can pick you up now. You know what I'm saying to you? You know what I mean? Mhm.
Yeah, he's had enough embarrassment. We don't want that. She's taller and it maybe weighs more than him. Nah, bro.
You'd be surprised the weight he can carry. Okay.
No, you don't want. And you're on TV. Don't do it.
Mhm.
It could go all the ways wrong.
No, you're right. Still.
No, never know. Don't judge a book by the look at the cover. You don't know.
She's someone that's your type.
She is a beautiful woman, put together well. I love like the glitter, the little color coordination,
you.
everything. You know,
See?
sparky.
Like,
You know, look good.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, yeah. Beautiful smile as well.
Thank you. Your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
Hi, I'm Natalie. I'm 38 years old. I popped the balloon initially because you said you're an entrepreneur, and then you listed like a number of other things after. But like, as an entrepreneur, like, what are you selling or what are you doing? Because it sounded like you just had a whole bunch of, no disrespect, hobbies.
Actually, I make money in everything that I do. Yeah. I do comedy
doing a little bit of
shows. I do podcasting. Yes, everything.
Okay.
I'm an actor. I just shot in a movie, just released in a movie. So yeah, no hobbies. These are everything I'm passionate about, and I make income off of what I do.
Okay.
It's not a hobby.
Okay. Yeah, it just sounded like that. So that's like that was my
Absolutely.
initial pop aside. Like I said, trying to give it the whole notion of what I used to be, what I'm used to. So that was it really. Yeah.
Someone's Banji Baby said 5'5". Does he know he can get a knee BL a knee BL these days? Listen, anybody doing that is crazy. You know what I mean? Gracious King. You know what I mean? So yeah, listen, I hear it. I hear it. You know what I mean? 5'5". It's not easy out here, man. You know what I mean? You gotta do what you gotta do though.
Now she's someone that's your type.
Yes, put together well. Nice smile. Like the little outfit. The shoes is complimenting the fit.
My
You
friend
know,
hates these shoes.
What?
She hates them with a passion.
It looks good.
They're cute.
I don't know why.
Yeah, look good.
She hates them. I bought 2 of them. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, your name and age and what agenda popping your balloon.
Sophia, 36. Maybe it's the height, I believe, but I love everything that you do. I'm a creative as
Sophia,
well.
maybe
I
it's
do
a
lot
height.
of
Sophia,
different
you know it's a
things,
height.
And yeah, I think that was about it. And maybe the age gap. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah. But I love the black and white. Like I love black and white. That's my favorite
Yeah,
color. So
went for something neutral. I
yeah.
just wanted to be neutral, right?
Someone also,
She's someone that's your type.
Yeah, you know, okay, I think all the women came out. They're all beautiful. I just, you know, didn't get to know anybody, but it is what it is, you know, respectfully.
Thank you.
Okay, let's head on back. Unfortunately, that's all the balloons popped, but thank you so much for coming on. Let's give it up for him, ladies. Thank you.
Yo, those but not
That was it?
needs. Yeah, that was it. The bionic needs has finished me.
At his age, he should not be getting bionic knees. I'm sorry. His season has passed for that. Sorry, not sorry.
The bionic knees are killing me. What a statement to make. Bionic knees is crazy. Banji Baby 21, and your photo looks beautiful. Damn.
I knew you were going to get around to that profile picture.
Can't lie, I haven't seen the profile picture of Banji Baby. Listen, I shouldn't say anything else. I'm a changed man now, but
you caught yourself, right?
DP.
Mr. No
Very
longer
beautiful
Egypt.
DP. Exactly. Very beautiful DP. You know what I mean? My knees can handle though, but you know, let me just stay on my side.
Your knees are for praying for the Lord. That's what
Absolutely. Absolutely now. They are no longer
they are no longer for your escapades.
for my escapades and unsanctified solo missions I'll be taking.
You know what? The other girl, the one that was a little snarky, she warmed up to the end. I think she has like one of those kind of nice, nasty personalities, but she was not like, she was even nicer to him and like rejecting him. And, you know, when she was talking about the shoes and this and that, she's like one of those people, you know, like how sometimes people are just a little awkward. So they might come off mean, you know?
Yeah. Because she was looking a little bit mean in the beginning. But I see what you're saying now, towards the end, that she was able to be a bit more warmer as well. So, yeah, I definitely see that. Even maybe because she had 2 short guys come in as well. And you know what I mean?
And maybe she was feeding off the energy a little bit, you know?
That they were
You
giving.
never know. But that other, the Christian baddie, she was
Bro,
she
that
got
that
progressively
comment
worse.
wild. I just don't understand that. I was like, baby, you got the Holy Trinity in this dress sense, and you've got to start behaving like one. Like I can see that you just got saved. That's what it is. She know that she got just saved, and that's a little bit of the side that the Lord needs to try and work through her. You know what I'm saying to you? That he's gonna work it out. You know what I mean? He's gonna work it out. That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, but Haitian Empress was asking what they said. They were calling her out for being a featurist.
wow.
And when she talked about that man's nose and how she likes a thinner bridge of a nose, so they were calling her out for, you know, like you're on a black dating show, and you are talking about you like people with a thinner bridge nose. That's a very specific request. Like you like people with white features. So they definitely were coming at her for like having that kind of and to be so wild to say it, you know. So
They're bold as well. Yeah. Like I said, something just need to be said, you know. Just keep quiet. You know what I mean? I'll say this, man. Yeah. You know, I say keep quiet. And don't always open your mouth and say something. You get me?
But what's that? What's the scripture? What comes out of the mouth proceeded from the heart, or
From the heart.
I got it flipped around. But you know, and that's why the good thing is you let people talk enough, they'll tell on themselves. They'll say it. Like the guys will tell on ourselves. You just ask us the right questions. You let us talk enough. We'll talk. Ladies, the same thing. You'll hear what somebody is really about. So she was talking all that, you know, Christian. But then once you really heard how she maneuvers in the world, she's not so nice.
Very different. Not so calm after all. You know what I mean? It'd be like that, you know. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. But you know what? Shoot, sure. We move.
My favorite was the short lawyer, though. He had the best, and he was giving everybody scriptures and words of affirmation.
His bar and energy was crazy. I could say that, fam. He was energized. I can't lie to you. I respect it. You know what I mean? I respect it. He handled the stress as well. Even the guy that was nonchalant handled some of the bars coming to him.
Yeah.
Obviously, just very nonchalant. That's the only difference. But yeah, no, very much handled that very well. Do you know what I mean?
But he looked like he could cuss somebody out, though.
No. He looked like he could tell them. Yeah.
He's like 3, 2. He's like, but he handled the girl in the all black. He handled Matrix baddie real well. You know, he was like, okay, oh really? A couple more things.
Let me show you that I'm not so nonchalant.
He's like, oh, you really want my attention.
You be like, you want his work. Trust me, I'm gonna show you nonchalant. You won't. Yeah. Well, listen, look, audience, has been a fun time, man. It's been good to chop it up with Sean and do Pop the Balloon as well. I'll try and do Wednesday again because obviously I try to save it to Saturday because I don't know if I'm here next Saturday, so I have to double check. I was in London as well this week, so next few Saturdays I'm not here. But listen, audience, thank you so much. I'll be back tomorrow. I know I've got to do a live on this Dear Future Wife podcast, the latest one. I know a lot of people it's actually an old video, but people brought it up again and people wanted me to react to it fully, but I did a short version. I can see a lot of people disagree and stuff, so it's interesting. Like, I think, you know, hearing these different perspectives is important, and you know, we are in a generation where we're starting to see, you know, when we've seen the men saying, you know, that maybe the woman wasn't their type or preference, that people are feeling like it's not a nice thing to hear. I just want to say, thank God you ladies have come to your senses, because whenever you lot say medium ugly and you say, oh, but you just need to accept it because we know we're not always attracted, that's the bullcrap I'm talking about. That's the bullcrap I've been telling you about. Stop doing it. Stop saying it. It's not pretty. And I love seeing that the man them are showing you and you don't like it. I want to use it as a way to let you know, please stop choosing the man them because they're medium ugly and because you're growing in that love, okay? And growing in affection and attraction, okay? Those videos are proving that y'all don't like it. The men do not like it. Nobody likes it when people are saying to them, I've grown to like him, you know, I've grown to find him attractive. Let's cut it out, as Sean would say. Okay. But anyway, we gotta go. Listen, much love, much appreciation. We'll see you again soon, fellas and ladies and gentlemen as well. Thank you. Bye-bye.